Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Cardboard Hands. This is episode 30, and it's a very special one, a holiday special, as it were, here on the Cardboard Hands podcast. But what's up, Giovanni? What's up, Retro? How you doing, man? What's going on with you? Happy holidays.
Yeah, man. Happy holidays. This is going to be a good one. I hope everybody's having a good time with their family, and we can provide some last minute content for you to watch right before you get into the holiday spirit. So yeah,
Yeah, and specialty about this one specifically with the holidays is we're gonna do our first ever giveaway on the channel. I mean, we were feeling a little festive. I was feeling a little festive. I may or may not have sent Retro a little package and may or may not have included a giveaway for the channel in that package. So definitely stay tuned for that because we've got a pretty good one lined up, specifically with just giveaways and other like holiday festive type treats. But what's new with you, man? What are you going out of town? Are you staying around town? Like, what are you doing for the holidays? I know this week is like the week before, and so everyone's kind of getting ready. But are you going to be staying put, or are you going to be kind of leaving?
Yeah, my family's not too far away, luckily, so I'll be hanging around local. There's my girlfriend's grandma lives on like an island, so I think on Christmas Day actually we're gonna go take the ferry and go see her on the island. So that should be fun. But yeah, just staying local, trying to figure out last minute what we're gonna make to like bring to all the get-togethers. My girlfriend has like a couple staple dishes that I feel like work for parties, and I'm like, oh, you should just make that. And then she's like, I don't want to bring the same thing every time. And I'm like, if it works, if things are a
People
staple for a
expect
reason.
it from you if it's good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she has this crazy like dill sort of. It's like a dill dip that it goes good with veggies, chips. Like I mean, it's crazy. But I'm always like, oh, you got to make the dip, and she's like, I don't want to be known as the dip lady. I'm
Why
just like,
not? That's
that's what I'm
fantastic.
saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So I don't know. We'll figure something out. There's this other like salad that she makes. It's like cranberries and like candied pecans or something, and like feta. And it's a really good salad. So maybe we do that. I don't know. We're trying to. We don't want to show up empty-handed. We're too old at this point to be showing up to parties empty-handed, right? Like in your early 20s and your teens, you can get away with that, but like I'm approaching 30, man. Like, so I can't be showing up to holiday parties with no food. So what
Yeah, well,
about
you know
you?
what I'm gonna advocate for you for if you run out of ideas, you could always just get a big solid block of Velveeta cheese and melt that
Velveeta
bad boy down
queso?
and serve it up with the queso and chips. You know, that's an easy go to. No one complains. Well, some people complain about that, but
I'm a sucker for queso, man. I'll eat that and then I'll just go straight to sleep. You know what I mean? Like you get that comfort food itis, and then you're just out. So, well, what about you? What are you up to? Are you going I know for Thanksgiving you guys sort of like went on holiday a little bit, had a little bit of a vacay. What are you doing for Christmas?
yeah, so this year for Christmas, we did Disneyland for Thanksgiving. We're doing Disney World for Christmas. No, I'm just kidding. We're staying. We're not traveling. We're just doing the normal like stay at home. This is our first year we actually ever did a big tree. We always kind of have been in smaller places, and my fiance has a tree allergy, like a pine allergy, so we can't have like a
Yeah, that's what
traditional
you're saying.
Christmas tree, like a live one. So we've always toyed with the idea of getting like an artificial tree and putting it up, but we always were going out of town, going to family, or just doing not really staying around for the holidays. And the Grinch hat is as sort of a little bit of a meta joke about myself in the holidays. I'm not anymore, I don't think, as much of a holiday Scrooge, but I very much so used to not like the holidays
That's
very much.
crazy to me because like you're so into food and stuff, and I feel like I look forward to the holidays to eat, you know. So
Well, I like that aspect of about it, but there's just other stuff and baggage surrounding the holidays that I've had to kind of get through
like
and
family
work.
drama and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
just like a
yeah, yeah.
lot, and it like has always been a bit of a troubling time. And I know a lot of people listening can probably relate to that, especially if you have like family issues or whatever. But as of late, like the last few years, it actually is a lot more of a special time to me because it's like I've gotten able to be into more of the holiday spirit with my own personal family. Like my fiance and I celebrate together, and so this year we're really specifically celebrating together with our family. We have a new cat, and so we have like all of our animals, and we put up a big tree, and like we're doing the whole like traditional Christmas dinner kind of thing with a friend. So we have a group of friends, or not a group, but like another couple that's local and doesn't have a lot of family or whatever. And so we're gonna get together and do a like holiday like with them, and they have a kid who's like 9 years old, so I'm gonna give him some Pokemon cards, and we're
Hell
gonna
yeah,
listen,
hell
we're
yeah.
gonna have to get to see that reaction in person. So it's gonna be a fun time. I'm looking forward to it, and I've actually this year really enjoyed the holidays, and I've been getting a lot more into that festive spirit. But it definitely has been a journey for me with like life and the holidays in general.
Bro, no. Speaking of the Grinch, on the way to a dinner the other night, we were crossing the bridge, and there was like in the movie with Jim Carrey how he has the motorcycle with the sidecar that he
Mhm.
puts the dog in. There was some dude dressed up as the Grinch, full outfit, Santa outfit on, with a dog in a motorcycle sidecar driving across the bridge, and I was like, "Oh my god, did you see that?" Like it was insane. I wish I would have got it on camera. I was like, dude, some people are getting into it for sure. But like just down to a T. Like and he had like the same color dog that Max. It was perfect. I'm like, where are you heading, bro? Christmas is not even for like 10 days. Like, but I mean, it was.
Yeah,
I had to respect it. I had to respect it.
people love the holidays. And so that's what, if you're listening, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, whether it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's Kwanzaa. I don't know if that's something that's big. You hear about that in the 90s a lot, but whatever holiday,
I
pagan
think
holiday
that's a
you.
cultural thing. I don't think that's a time period thing.
Well,
But
you
yeah,
never
yeah.
hear people like saying Happy Kwanzaa anymore, whereas in like the 90s, it was like included in every single Happy Holidays slogan, right? But it's kind of faded away. So I'm sure it's still celebrated, but it's like the big thing now is just Happy Holidays in general. So if you're listening, thank you for listening. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you celebrate. Happy Holidays to you, so thank you for listening. So that's what we're doing this holiday special for. So as well as sort of the holiday talk, did you do anything else special this year? Did you go and like sit on Santa's lap and ask for something, or like wish for something, or did you go do anything with your family? Because I actually did do something at the mall for the holidays this last weekend, and I got to see a ton of like just holiday. It's like holiday overload. I got all the retail music thrown at me for like 8 hours. Had a local show in a mall. Saw some like a bunch of people dressed up as elves just walking around the mall. So it's very festive these days. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy that for this next section, because the next section here is actually going to be the holiday giveaway. And
All right,
so
hold up. I'll be right back.
just recently we decided to try to I decided I wanted to try to give back to the channel a little bit, and also just give back a little bit to Retrospecs here, because he's been such a gracious co-host to me. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better co-host, so I'm going to say this while he's away so he doesn't blush or whatever. But I owe him a lot for this podcast, and so he still hasn't gotten to 1,000 subs, which is he's almost there, which is really incredible because he started YouTube a lot later than a lot of other people, and he's sort of growing really quickly. But my holiday gift to him, a part of my holiday gift to him, was going to be sort of an attempt to get you guys, this channel, to go follow him. And my attempt to do that is I included a special gift for the followers, for you guys, that we're going to give away on his channel in our next live stream here. So go follow Retrospecs. We're going to put a comment or in the description. There's always his link down below. But go follow him. Make sure you're following this podcast, of course. And then the next time we go live, this what I gave Retro here to give away to you guys, he's going to send to one lucky viewer in our next live giveaway, live stream. So happy holidays, guys. I hope you enjoy this. But before we do this, we show off that giveaway, I actually included a present for Nick as a holiday like mystery box because once
Look
again
at this
I
wrapping
appreciate you.
paper with the sloths on the candy canes. Like that's fire. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Now
Yes.
I gotta come up with something for you. I don't want to send you anything Japanese because I don't want you to melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. But I'll come up with something. I'll
Well,
figure
don't
something
don't send anything too great because you're gonna have to. You should open this because when you open to see what I included in this, you're gonna see why I say don't get anything because it's not valuable. I did not include a very valuable gift. This is not a. But I think you're going to really like it. I specifically think that this is curated for your tastes and the taste
Okay.
of our viewers. If you'll see soon enough.
All right. Should I get into it? Should I get into it?
Please do. Yes, and so. All right, if you're listening and watching, if you're not watching, but Nick is going to start opening the present that we sent to him. I sent it to him wrapped in like sloth Christmas present paper, and there's a few items in there, and we're gonna show them off live. So if you can, please go watch this on YouTube just to see this part of it at least. And there's also going to be part later on that you're gonna want to watch when we're doing some rankings. But
Bro, I didn't know you were sending me investment pieces. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that with the tag clip and everything.
okay,
Let's go.
so
What's
so
this guy named?
yeah, so I think his name is Flipper or something. I'm not entirely sure if his name is
That's
Flipper,
perfect. That is
but
really.
you
Oh,
get the
Glide. His name is
okay,
Glide.
Glide. Well,
We're gonna leave the tag clip closed and pretend his name is Flipper.
so I used to collect Beanie Babies, right? That was what actually got me into
That's
collecting.
fire.
It was sports cards, and then I collected Beanie Babies with my mom, sports cards with my dad. But then when Pokemon came out, I kind of bridged that gap with trading cards. And my mom and dad would start buying me those, and so I stopped collecting Beanie Babies, stopped collecting sports cards. Only collected trading cards because they're just superior in all ways. And so that is actually from my childhood collection, the dolphin, and I have tons of them. So I knew that you would appreciate a real vintage Beanie Baby, and it's from my personal collection. And I couldn't think of anyone better to send a dolphin, than my biggest Flipper friend that I know. So, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I
We're
appreciate
going
that,
for a
dude.
sponsorship, by the way. So show that last thing in there that you just showed off.
Oh, okay.
We're going for a sponsorship on the channel here, chat. And so down below, I want
You a
you
big
guys
Haribo fan?
a Haribo, yeah. So down below, I want you to put your favorite in the comment section, your favorite Haribo gummy, because here at Cardboard Hands, Haribo is the gummy of choice on the podcast. And so for the most premium gummy snacks, always go to Haribo. And Haribo, if you're looking for a podcast to throw a sponsorship to, wink wink, nod nod, say no more, you know where to look. But I just got some sweets and stuff, so I hope you and your girlfriend like Haribo. I do want to ask a little trivia question for you though. So included with the whole thing. Have you eaten a lot of Haribo gummies? Are you a fan? Are you a connoisseur, as it were?
Yeah, I mean, not in a while. When I was a kid, though, for sure. Like when you're a kid, like those fruit snacks, like the gummy fruit snack, that's just like a must. You know what I mean? Like you get those in with like a lunch, or you go to camp and get the like. So yeah, definitely a fan of those. I feel like the knockoff brands gummy bears just don't hit the same. Like if you're gonna eat them, it's got to be Haribo for sure. So
That's
I
what we
mean,
like to hear, baby. That's how we're gonna get those sponsorships. That's exactly what we like to hear. No, but
yeah,
seriously, they're the best.
yeah, they've had a lock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how long have they even been around? Like 30 years, 50? Like this stuff's been around forever. So
Not
I mean,
sure if them or Black Forest were like the two OG brands, but like when you're talking about gummies, Black Forest is just way too soft and juicy. Not that juicy is like a bad thing when you're talking about gummies, but like the softness, they don't hold their shape. They like melt almost when the temperature is too high. Like if they're sitting on the gas station shelf and it's like they get kind of sweaty, whereas the Haribos, they never get sweaty. They don't ever get melty. They have that like layer of beeswax that they're coated in that gives them kind of that weird textural chew almost. And so I think that that's what's special about them is that like layer of wax. I think it's beeswax that they put on their like the coating of their gummies. But by George, if we get a sponsorship from Haribo, then then we're doing something right. So we're gonna be pushing for it. And so as a bonus, an added bonus to you listening, if you guys can help get Nick to 1,000 subs before New Year's, I will include it in the giveaway that we're already doing on the channel, regardless if he gets to 1,000. But if he does get to 1,000, I will also send you your favorite flavor of Haribo gummies. If you put that comment down below, whatever your favorite is, get Nick to 1,000. We'll do an additional giveaway for that, your favorite flavor, whatever the favorite flavor is, whoever wins the giveaway. And we'll run that at the same time. So that's in the, just thought about another little way, but we're going to try to push the Haribo on the channel here. So
I
Haribo
appreciate
sponsorship, here
that.
we come, baby.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I don't deserve it, but yeah, that would be awesome, man. I really thank you for doing that for me, and yeah, hopefully it'll drive some subscribers to the channel. That'd be awesome. I'm trying. Like I released like 2 videos in the past week. I know I need to get better at editing and stuff like that. So hopefully in the new year I can make like some content that
Look
people
in
will
that
enjoy.
box and tell me. I think there's one more thing in there potentially. I think it's a pack.
Oh, I don't know about this one, Josh. Like this might go against my morality and my ethics, dude. I might need
Okay.
to make a YouTube video about how hurt I am over this, you know?
Okay, so I included a little mystery pack for you to open as well on the channel. I forgot if I put it in or not, but I was pretty sure I did. Because the giveaway is also a mystery pack for the viewers. But there's something in there that I know specifically you'll like. And I do want you to open that one thing. Only one of them on the channel here. So
This gold bubble mailer is fire. I like that you put them in these. These are sick.
shout out to my selling bags eBay account linked down below. That's what all my mystery packs come in, and it's a small little thing, but I think it makes it a little more special when you get that in the mail. It's not just some like dull drab like normal bubble mailer. You kind of get a shiny gold package. It's not like it adds value or anything, and it certainly doesn't cost much more, but it's an added little fun thing. I also like to think that it adds the chance of it getting stolen, which adds that little risk, that danger that I like to live in my life, that layer of danger I add on. No, that's not a good thing. I'm just kidding about that, but it does, I think, add a layer of excitement when you get a gold package.
Yeah, no, it looks good. All right, we got some fire in here. I'm gonna save the best for last. But real quick, we got a pack of English 151. We got 3 packs of Crown Zenith, but the best Beanie Babies cards. Let's go, baby.
Okay, so I know you don't open any English cards, so I really put the Pokemon stuff for you and your girlfriend to open up and have some fun or whatever whenever you just want
No,
to
we
open
gotta
some
we gotta
stuff.
open at least. We'll open 2 packs. We'll open 2 packs of Pokemon.
Okay, I
We
don't know
got
how much you've opened of English, so I did put, but the Beanie Baby one we definitely got to open up on the stream because
okay.
the,
Okay.
the Beanie Baby cards, we're gonna start using. I actually dug into the vault. I dug into the old card shop vault. Now the old card shop vault is nothing like the Poke Vault. It's nothing like PokeRev's Poke Cave or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, PokeRev probably doesn't have this in his Poke Cave. So Pokevault doesn't have these in his Pokevault. So I'm just saying, like the old card shop vault has got some special limited edition Beanie Baby cards in it. And so we're gonna be doing some
Has
giveaways.
anyone graded these?
I I've
Like,
not even dared, but I've seen there is one of one. Okay. So this, I didn't mean, I wasn't gonna want to shill these. I wasn't trying to, I was only joking and trying to shill these. So take this with a grain of salt. But the creator of Beanie Babies, Ty whatever Hilton, I don't know what his last name is, Ty something. But he went in and he signed one. He made a one of one serialized card of every single Beanie Baby, and he autographed it himself, every single one of one card, and inserted it into the Beanie Baby cards, into those boxes.
did you
And
see
they're
the?
so
Did you see?
hard to pull. The only way that I know they exist is there's examples of them on eBay. There's one example right now on eBay of a one of one, like it's a Liberty Bear, and it's got his signature and it's got the one of one gold. It's crazy. So if you If you open a serialized card, that thing's going for like $3,000. I don't know if anyone would
Oh,
buy that.
we'll split the profit for sure. If I pull something crazy, like yeah, I'm not leaving you out in the cold. It's cool. They have pack odds on here. I don't. You guys probably can't see that, but it's like sports cards. They have pack odds. There we go. Maybe.
Yeah, they actually made 3 series of it, and they're all pretty cool. Like the texture, when you open it, you'll see they're really cool textured cards. They have like embossed, like embossing on it. It's really the quality is pretty dang good. It's pretty insane.
All right, so it says 157 total card set, artist proof common cards, 1 per pack, wild cards, 1 in 3 packs, birthday cards, 1 in 5 packs, babies and buddies, 1 in 12 packs, classic commons, 1 in 24, and then retired cards or autograph cards are 1 in 72 packs. So that's what, 1 in 3 booster boxes or something?
I think there's 24 packs.
And this is actually kind of fire. Like the packaging, like these are kind of cool looking. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm gonna be using these for giveaways on the channel in the future, so definitely follow along. There may or may not be one of those packs in the giveaway already that we talked about for the holiday giveaway. So you definitely want to follow Retrospecs and get in on that. So just saying, limited edition, rare, not that rare, but
All right, hold up. These are kind of stuck together as a lot of.
yeah, they're like Topps cards. They have a tendency to stick together.
Yeah, let me unstick these and then we'll pull them out.
Take note of the texture of the cards, though. The embossing, the ridiculous quality. It's
okay.
Oh my gosh! Here we go. Oh,
these are like it's like upside down. Oh, yeah, it's like the mini magazine. You get one of these per pack too, I guess.
Prevents the pack weighing, because there's a huge pack weighing problem, I'm sure.
Okay, we got Gigi. We got Gigi the poodle.
Notice look at that. It's like literally you can see the raised texturing on the poodle itself. That's how every single card is textured like that. I couldn't believe it. Like, how are they making any money?
Okay, we got Waves the whale. This one's actually kind of fire. We got shouts out to Kyogre, Free Willy action. We got Puffer the penguin, or Puffer the.
If you get a Princess Diana bear, it's all over. That's the Charizard of Beanie Babies, as it were.
We got Luke, little dog. Looks like he was on like Homeward Bound or something.
Something cute. Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Oh, this one's fire. Tapu Cuckoo.
Oh, let's go. He's dope. I love birds.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Birds are like my favorite.
He's even. Oh, never mind. I thought that was like a Christmas tree, but I think it's just a cactus. But
there is a Christmas bear. There are a few Christmas Beanie Babies, so we might be lucky and get one of those.
All right, this name is kind of unfortunate. Ants the Anteater. Like, come on, like y'all could have got a little more creative with that.
You are what you eat, man. You know what I mean? You are what you eat.
Ooh, and our hollow pull.
We got a hollow here, boys and girls, ladies and gents.
Yo, this is looking clean. PSA 10 contender. Bubbles. Let's go, baby. Oh, hey, yo, disco. Look at that disco foiled. Oh, this is uncut sheet, bro. I'm sending this straight to Rusty.
I've never seen that before. That's super cool. Like, they have different styles of hollow.
That is sick. This is clean. This is clean, bro. This is uncut sheet. This is David Person. If you're out there, $5,000. Hit me up.
At least. For
you, 42.
David doesn't want to get into Beanie Babies. He'd go bankrupt if he was getting it. Do you think Pokemon's expensive? Trying to get the 1-of-1 Beanie Baby cards? That would break the man. Shout out David. Yeah. David Persons. Friend of the channel here.
And then the artist proof card is Daisy the cow.
Artist proof? What?
Yeah, you get one of these, I guess, per pack. Artist proof cards. Daisy the cow, just hanging out at the barn with the hay and the gold. World Championship. This is Champions Festival Daisy with the gold tie stamp.
Gold stamps, big stonks. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yo, this is kind of fire. What is the hollow card called? Is that a wild card or a bird? I don't know.
I legitimately don't know. I've opened one pack of these before. Like I've opened one on someone else's stream, and then I went on a buying spree and I bought a bunch of first edition boxes. And so I have actually a small stockpile of these boxes. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that though because it's shameful to think about.
How much were those boxes, and did you buy them pre-boom or post-boom?
I bought them during the boom, the worst time, but they're only like $20, and they're still like $20. So,
oh, really? Did you get them on Hills, or where'd you get them?
There's a listing, an eBay listing that I cleared out from this one guy. There's the first edition ones are the ones that you really want because those are the ones that have like the best pulls in them. Those are the ones I think have the higher odds of getting the actual serialized cards. That's what people say online. No one really knows like the odds of the serialized cards.
Okay.
But
did
they're
you
pretty
sell
cool.
them
Like,
into the documentary boom or the movie boom? Did you sell any into the little? Did you see?
No,
the
I
movie?
forgot I had them until recently. I was looking for my Christmas ornaments and things this last season, and I found the box where I had that and some old Magic cards and some other stuff I bought during the boom, and I was like, oh shit, oh yeah, the Beanie Baby cards. I know what I'm doing, and so it was like literally perfect. I was like, yes.
Did you see the movie with Zach Galifianakis and the chick from what's her name? Elizabeth something.
Wait,
You
there's a
should watch.
Beanie Baby movie?
Yeah, there's a documentary which is Beanie Mania, but then there's like an actual movie that they did, and Zach Galifianakis plays Ty, and it's good, dude. It's
That
good.
sounds so funny.
It's got the red-haired lady from Succession in it. I can't remember what is her name, Elizabeth something.
I'm gonna look into that because that sounds so funny to me. That sounds really funny to me.
All right, I'll save two of the Crown Zenith for later. I got to pull the best hits off stream, but we got to open one each of the 151 and Crown Zenith and see if we pull the Suicune, we might retire. So
yeah, you can already you can move to Dubai after that.
Yeah, what's the pack trick for this?
I don't know because I don't do pack tricks ever anymore because I'm not a pack breaker anymore, and since days like a long time ago. So since Scarlet and Violet, I have no idea.
Okay.
I stopped in Crown Zenith. That's when I walked away.
All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. What is that? Lichen Rock? I'm trying to get it to focus. All right, Lichen Rock.
Energy.
Is the energy supposed to be in the front of the pack? Matang. Yo, Metagross was actually kind of bussing. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever that is, energy switch. PRPSs, running shoes, Oddish. It's a fire Oddish art.
Oddish is actually one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon.
Yeah, that's headed straight to Jake Smith's personal collection. Coughing. Salandit.
That's the female evolution of the salamander that you have to have the girl version to evolve, and the boy version just is useless and it stays the lower evolution, which is natural. That makes sense.
Grubbin. I can relate to that. All right, I think this is it. Are we going to pull a hit? Are we going to pull a hit?
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
Yo.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey, yo. It
That's
is
not bad.
Non-gradable, as most English is.
Usually. Especially those ARs. They end up being really bad, the illustration rares and those types.
There's no whitening, but it's like slightly OC. But
if there's no whitening and it's just a little OC, that's definitely gradable. For English, that's gradable.
Okay.
Like, I thought you meant by not gradable, there's the classic whitening or chipping that you see around Crown Zenith. It's weird. Crown Zenith has one of two different types of print runs. Either it has pristine print run where it had really, really good quality from like that Sword and Shield era, or it has the worst like Scarlet and Violet era print quality you've ever seen, and that's where it started. So you kind of have to determine which one you're getting when you're opening. So that must be a good one.
Yeah, no, this actually looks really nice. I'm surprised given that it's English. So we got lucky there with that print quality. All right, let's do 151. We're looking for Giovanni's Charisma.
Good luck. I've pulled several of those opening 151. That is a pack, a set I've opened some of behind the scenes is 151 because I'm a boomer, Poke Boomer. And that
No.
Giovanni's Charisma has plagued me many times.
Oh,
Many
here
nights.
for the players. Here's your code card. Here's your code cards. There you go for the players. Whoever gets them, shouts
I wonder
out
if
to
there's
you.
anyone who actually plays the game who watches our podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, I don't know what the pack trick is, so we're just gonna start
Do it
and
live,
go
yeah.
for it. The shop. What's my master ball reverse gonna be? Just kidding. I wish they did that in English. That would have been sweet. That gloom art is sick. I love that gloom art. That's a good one. Little Doug Trio. Trace ground sausages. Clefable. I like that one too. Farfetch.
Disappointment. 151.
Low-key sleeper Pokemon. Farfetch. Let's go. Machoke.
Reverse.
Got the evolution line.
Ooh.
Hollow. Is that a brick? Look at. She's even got the 4-leaf clover. She's taunting me with the luck. Oh, the Cosmos energy! Wait, has that got swirls?
We didn't get the Master Ball, but we got the Galaxy Hollows.
And got a swirl up top there.
People are going to be not like this take, but I think the Galaxy Hollow energies are so much cooler than the Master Ball, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, you're dusted.
People 100%. Are not going to like that take, but to me, it is way cooler. I know people don't care about those though because nobody plays the game, but they're really cool.
You're dusted beyond belief for that one. All right, one more. I got the itch. Now. One more.
Oh, nice.
One more
we got him. See, that was the intention. He's gonna go and start buying from my store now. I got him.
I can't do this. I'm bad with. All right, here we go. I can't get that opening bug, or I'll start ripping some vintage Dragon Ball Z shit. Okay. This is a weird pack structure. Is it supposed to be like this?
Crowns in it?
Crocodile. Ooh,
I thought I put it back the right way.
Oh, yeah, of course. Lunatone. Hey, yo, the Soul Rock and Lunatone back to back? That's got to be a reseal.
That's hot. That's hot.
Purloin. Rockruff.
Yeah, all these mid Pokemon, definitely a reseal.
Execute. Cherubi. Is this a pull? Oh, no. One more.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Oh! Double hit.
Let's go.
Hey, yo.
Is
this gradable?
I mean, like I said, you either get one of two crowns in it. You get good gradable crowns in it, or you get the garbage one. So it's
what is it selling for in a 10? This actually my 10.
$20 in a 10?
$20? Oh, we're retiring, baby. Come on. That art is nuts, though. Come on.
No, listen. If you're watching, like, Crown Zenith is criminally undervalued. I'm not joking. That's like a $25 PSA 10.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It's not right.
No
it's
way,
really
dude.
not.
Even in English? Let me see.
No, especially in English. Yeah, like what? Look at some auction prices of those. They're dark.
Hey, yo, like y'all are. Let me see. Zamazenta.
Crown Zenith graded PSA 10 prices are not realized. They're not there.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Is it lower than 25?
There's one that is. It's an auction that started at 20, 0 bids, with 510 shipping. Ooh. That's dark, dog. That is super dark. All right. Well, I guess. All right. You know what? Like, we're on a roll. We're ripping it. Like my girlfriend isn't even. She doesn't even know.
So the next time you're thinking about Crown Zenith, you got to think about the graded price realization and why people don't like the set. I don't think it has anything to do with the set not being a good set. I think it has to do with the fact that there's no premium to ripping it, even if you do get a PSA 10.
Never say Giovanni doesn't care about the players. There you go. I care about the players. I think this was the last one too. There you go. I just gotta support the hobby in any way you can. So, all right, here we go. All right, last pack magic. Luxray. Oh, V-Star marker.
Now that graded is worth more than most other things you can pull in the pack. The V-Star, that if you graded PSA 10 would be worth more than most of the alternate arts.
Well,
look at that. Look at the centering on it.
Look at that art.
Dude, it's hot.
well
It's super
centered.
hot.
Luxio. Ultra Ball. Shouts out to the 99 of these. I threw at Rayquaza at the top of that stupid tower.
Yeah, Ultra Ball is
Um,
ultra playable.
Unagi, Electric Unagi. Shouts out to the heads who know. Potion.
Yeah, okay. Do they put potion in literally every single set? I think they do. I think it's in
You
every
gotta have the potion,
set.
bro. Sunkern, super underrated Pokemon. Another coughing. Oddish.
Oddish, okay, getting fire now. Get some fire.
Oh! Shouts out
Yo,
to
yo,
Manny's
yo.
favorite Pokemon, Radiant Eternatus.
Look at the
Let's go.
texture though, bro. The
Oh yeah,
texture.
wait, there is none because it's English.
No, there's texture on that bad boy.
It's a little. It's a little. All right. I mean, we got a hit out of every pack, so we can't complain, dude. Y'all are sleeping on Crown Zenith. That's a good set to open right there.
It legitimately is a good set to open. It's one of those sets that like I sell Crown Zenith and I sell 151 like in probably equal amounts. Crown Zenith for about half the price of 151. I get so many people complaining about 151. They think that the packs are weighed. They think that they're tampered with. They all this stuff because they open 17 packs, 9 packs, 10 packs, and got one EX card or all hollows or nothing but like a single galaxy foil. And then they'll open a couple of Crown Zenith packs and they'll get alternate art this, alternate art that, and like in 2 packs they'll get 3 hits. And it's just like the difference is so night and day. And yet people love the 151 so much more. But the complaints on it are so much higher. The brutality with 151 is just, oh, it's bad. On the seller, too, because, like, when people come back at me and try to say, like, and give, like, a request a return or say something, leave a review, which is the case with TikTok that I had to deal with recently, and say, like, oh, these packs, I didn't get anything in it. They must be tampered with. Don't trust this seller. That is so not cool. And, like, just literally just watch videos of people opening these things to realize that you can open 20 packs and get nothing. It doesn't mean they're resealed, especially with 151. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
don't be that guy.
listen, folks. Don't be that guy. You got to understand when you're doing this, it is fun, but at the end of the day, it's gambling. Do not take it out on the seller. Look, there are people out there doing mischievous things, but don't be leaving bad reviews on Josh's TikTok because you didn't pull your chase card. If you want the chase card, go buy it. Like come on, dude. We're 2-3, most of us 2-3 years into this at this point. Like you should know that opening is not the best way to get the cards that you want. Opening is for fun. It's to get a rush. It's to gamble. And listen, most of the time when you gamble, the house wins. In this case, the house is not Josh. The house is Pokemon. The house is
Pokemon, yes.
Pokemon. So if you're going to be mad at somebody, I mean, don't even be mad at Pokemon because you know what it is when you're opening packs. Like, y'all, listen, you want your card, just buy the card, okay? Do not be leaving negative reviews on sellers. That's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, and so that being said, we're going to move into a fun topic for the podcast this week. With the holidays in mind, there have been lots of holiday Scrooges out there, out and about in the wild. I've been taking note of a few of them, and I've been making a list and checking it twice, and we're going to call out a few of the biggest holiday Scrooges that I think deserve a little call out. So in the vein of not being too negative about it, though, we're just going to spend a little bit of time on each and kind of say, shame on you. You can do better. And maybe, hopefully, they probably won't hear this, but maybe they will see it and they'll do a little better. But first one on the list is something that I saw recently. I saw a headline, and WotC, Wizards of the Coast, recently, or I should say Hasbro, recently has laid off about 20% of the Wizards of the Coast staff about 2 to 3 weeks before the holidays here. And I just want to say that that's got to be one of the biggest FU Scrooge moments I have ever seen a company who, mind you, is having the biggest and best profits they've ever realized.
Wait. Wizards. Or not Hasbro. Wizards is doing good on profits, right? Not
Well,
Hasbro.
Hasbro's a part of, or Hasbro owns Wizards.
Yeah, for sure. But like, if you look at Nintendo stock and look at how much Pokemon has done, you know what I mean? Like, Nintendo owns Pokemon, but like, Nintendo's not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, like has if you think outside of Wizards of the Coast,
But Wizards of the Coast is Hasbro's cash cow. So they are,
yeah,
yeah. So the fact being that they have the largest profits they've ever realized this last year. It's the best year ever for Wizards of the Coast. And Hasbro stock is just plummeting down to the floor because of XYZ, confidence in the market, all this stuff. But because of that, it seems like they thought the right thing to do was lay off tons of their staff right before the holidays, as if that's going to help their stock, which is tanking because of the public's opinion on them. So that's why I want to call them out and just kind of say right now, discuss, why that's maybe a bad thing, and just say, shame on you. Shame on you, Hasbro. Do better. You can do better. That's what I want to say. Now, if you defend Hasbro somehow, feel free. But
I'm not. I was just looking at their chart, and dude, their 5-year chart is yikes. They're down 35.5% over the past 5 years. That's kind of wild. All time though, I looked at their all time chart, so it looks like they went public at $1.61, and they're sitting at $40 or $50.43 right now. They're up 3,000% all time. So like that's pretty solid. But yeah, over
last
the
year
past,
they were 90. They were 90 plus, pushing 90 last year. Like,
yeah, if you look at their 5-year chart, like they've been getting demolished, which is rough too, because if you're just sitting in SPY, like you could have severely outperformed the. It makes sense. Like I don't know. Like I don't really own. I mean, I guess I do maybe if there's any in the S&P 500, but I don't own any like consumer discretionary retail type stock. Like I remember during the boom, a lot of people were saying like, should I invest in Nintendo because Pokemon's doing so well, and just understanding that those things aren't always correlated. And yeah, it's interesting. I know Rudy is like big on owning Hasbro stock, but part of me is like, do you believe in the stock price appreciation, or do you just want to own as much Hasbro as you can so that you can have like eventually maybe have like voting rights or something, and like sway the direction of Wizards of the Coast? Because I mean, if anybody could do it, like he's got the money to do it, I would think, to
I
wiggle
don't
his
think
way
he's
in there. And
yeah, I don't think he would be above some sort of like a takeover of Hasbro if he ever got the opportunity to kind of acquire that many stocks. If it got low enough, I think he would potentially think about it.
yeah, so I mean, let me see what Nintendo. Let me see what Nintendo stock's been doing.
It's just one of those things that you can't do that to your staff, and you can't do that in the public domain and expect it to go over well, and not expect people like us to say something about it when you do. It's just so disrespectful, like to your community, to do that, and the timing of it too. And it's just like they're not addressing what the big problem in the room is, because all their CEOs and their massive, like their way higher ups, have these huge corporate salaries, and they're taking these massive payments and these massive amount like of payments, but they're firing huge chunks of their workforce. Whereas Nintendo, like we're talking about, in the same sort of time frame when they were going, not this time frame, but in a time when they were going into similar financial distress, not to say Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro was in financial distress, but they Nintendo was at a certain point going through some issues with their stock pricing, and a lot of things like that. The big higher ups at Nintendo specifically took huge pay cuts so that they could not lay off some of their staff and not have to make cuts. And that sort of culture difference is just highlighted so obviously.
I think that's Japanese versus American culture, though, right? So, I mean,
Well,
like I'm not
yeah,
going to
but
defend Hasbro, and admittedly, I don't know enough about it, but I mean, companies, publicly traded companies, have one goal, and it's to maximize profit and maximize share price for shareholders. So it is what it is. It's kind of a blow, especially around the holidays, but it doesn't surprise me. A lot of companies have been doing pretty substantial layoffs. So Nintendo actually, It's up like 15%, 14.19% year to date. So it's underperformed the index for sure. But it looks, like over the past 5 years, it's up like 88%. So it's not
Well,
doing.
Nintendo's doing okay. Yeah, Hasbro's whole stock pricing thing has a lot to do with the internal problems within the company and its lack of foresight over like its main cash cow. It has no idea what's going on there, which I've never seen such a disconnect with it continuing on. So like, I guess it didn't really do anything because I wasn't buying Magic to begin with, and a lot of people like me are also stepped away from it. But it's just a shame to see that kind of that sort of treatment of their staff. So that's a big part of Christmas Scrooge Roundup is Wizards of the Coast, and not Wizards of the Coast, but Hasbro specifically. Shame on you, Hasbro. Shame on you, Chris Cox. Shame on you, Cynthia Williams. You guys should have taken pay cuts instead of firing your hardworking staff. Next up is MetaZoo. MetaZoo's on the list this time, and I did have to check that list multiple times to make sure we were actually going to talk about MetaZoo because it pains me. This may be the last time that we talk about MetaZoo, and it does hurt me to say this because all the memes aside, all of the jokes, all the whatever aside, I know people who play MetaZoo. I know a lot of the community who invested in MetaZoo or who sold it, who bought and sold, who like interacted with it, who graded it. And I feel really bad for what's to come for those people. Hell, I'm one of those people. I have a box of Wilderness sitting on my my shelf back here that's just collecting dust that I'm certainly not going to be able to sell now. But MetaZoo's on this list because they are experiencing right now what I would call basically what I would see is the death throes of a TCG in its final.
Listen, here's what we need to do. You want to take down the big guy, the corporations. Dan just did that thing where he's like, I'll give you $20 as long as I. Here's what we need to do. MetaZoo's headed to zero. Okay, he'll give you $20 a card. Everybody needs to get those cards. Like, what does he have? 500 or something. He'll give you $20 a piece. We sell all those back to Dan. I mean, it might not make a dent overall, but that's a 10K loss. That's a 10K loss. Like that's how you rage against the machine. You sell. I'm just kidding. I'm getting a Dan card. Hopefully signed from him because I
Good luck.
participated.
They sell out. They sold out in a
No,
matter of like
I'm
minutes.
getting one for free because I participated in
Oh,
one of the MetaZoo box breaks. So
you're one of the privileged. You have privilege. I forgot
hey
you're one
man,
of those ones.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I was privileged. I bought into a MetaZoo box break, so if anything, I'm still trying to bounce back. But yeah, dude, honestly, like when I look back on it, MetaZoo, the whole we were so unbelievably dusted during the boom period. Like people were actually like, is MetaZoo potentially in like dog investable? Oh my, it feels like a fever dream, honestly. Like in the Discord and how like wild those mods were and all the crazy stuff Mike was saying and like he was like dunking on people. It's just weird, dude. Like really, really
The
weird. Like
Kickstarter situation and the boxes going for like 10 grand and then
I
crashing and then
remember
like
I remember one year it was like right before Nightfall came out, and I wrote like a parody poem and I posted it in Pokenomics Discord about like the release of Nightfall. It was like twas the night before Nightfall and all through the land like LGSs were trying to get Nightfall like just in hand and just like making fun. And I was like, and with no sign of boosters gracing store shelves, Mike said, "Fuck distribution, we'll sell them ourselves." Because at the very last minute, dog, he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, like we promised you those boxes, but actually." They're available on MetaZoo's website. Like, oh my god, I remember that, and people still bought it. Nightfall had some cool cards in it, but it's just, dude, thinking back on that time that people were just like, yeah, I'm pro MetaZoo, bro. Like Like, I'm not even mad at the game. It's not like I'm rooting for it to fail. I think some of the arts are cool. I think some of the packaging is cool and stuff like that. But it is just so wild
Pokemon
how.
still last year, bro. I'm into MetaZoo now. That was like what people were saying, kind of. You know, I know a lot on Whatnot specifically. Huge communities, huge sections of the community moved. They're like Pokemon's too saturated. I'm gonna go to MetaZoo because I want to like be on the ground floor and kind of get into the next big thing. And they're like, I actually love this stuff. And they're like into the artists and into all. There's a big community behind it. So like, I I feel bad for that community because they are passionate about it and they still exist and they will continue to exist after the death of the game. But the reason I say that they're in the death throes right now is because the last couple of sets and the last couple of releases and the last couple of promises for like new sets getting delivered have all been late or delayed or just not ever given out. And so MetaZoo's having serious distribution fulfillment problems. And that's one. And then also they're having huge problems with like TCG Player literally dumping their product for like half price the day after it releases and crashing the price. Rest in peace, the Hello Kitty boxes that just released. And so we're seeing all these signs of basically what looks, oh, they lost all their artists. MetaZoo also just lost basically all of their biggest artists. They don't have the arts. They're not going to be doing art for MetaZoo anymore because they like weren't paying them, which is really big yikes. It's like, I think they left because of some issues with like, I don't know if this is true or not, and maybe it's not. I could be wrong. Someone correct me down below, but I think there was some sort of like issue with like payments, and that's like big yikes if that's the case.
Yeah,
So
that is.
doesn't seem good, and they're contracting out a lot of like fan art to their community now, trying to get like new sourcing new artists, and it's just like,
Okay, so not to go full crypto bro here, but like MetaZoo's approach to everything like feels so during like the altcoin summer, basically, where like all the doo-doo coins were ripping that had like no use case. It was just like the new hot thing people were talking about on Twitter and YouTube, like invest in this coin and you'll 10,000x. There was like a list of things that you could do that were like hot topics, right? Like right now, if you mention AI in an earnings call, like your stock's trading up. People are like, oh, AI, y'all are using AI? Yeah, for sure. I'm in. It's that like that sort of thing happened with crypto, right? So if you talked about like gaming, the metaverse, like there were like a list of
blockchain.
if you well, it's all blockchain, but if you talked about like 5 or 10 things or whatever, like people were like, oh yeah, bro, I'm invested in this project. That's how I feel about MetaZoo. They were like, oh, we're gonna get a show on Netflix, we're gonna get into Burger King, we're gonna do an anime, we've got a comic, we've got NFTs. It's like, dude, they literally did so many things, and like, I'm not hating, it's like, shouts out to you for trying, and like, but it feels very toppy. Like it feels like oof, like that's top of the market, like mass bull run kind of stuff. Like you're just anything that's like hot during the time. You're like, yeah, well, we're doing that too. Oh, serialized cards?
We're
Yeah,
doing
we're
it,
doing
baby.
serialized cards too, bro. Like, oh, and you know what else? We're
NFTs.
half owned by an EDM DJ too. Check that out, bro. Like,
Yeah, you like that,
like
huh?
it's so like, yeah, man. It's like it honestly, like I look back on that time when that stuff came out, and it feels like a fever dream. Like it is crazy how unbelievably dusted we all were about everything, not just MetaZoo, but like everything. It's nuts. And to be completely honest with you, I thought the whole Kickstarter TCG like thing completely died. The fact that those sorcery boxes are selling for whatever the hell they're selling for, thousands, like that surprise, like
Have you
that is
seen the artwork
crazy.
of those cards,
Dude,
dude?
it's
They
mid.
are
It's
really
mid to me. Like it's like
bad.
it's our like I'm not into that whole like Magic the Gathering style art. It's like it's whatever to me. But
I don't know. Like, shout out to Swami because when I see the artwork of like the sorcery cards, I'm just like, dude, Swami's gonna cream himself looking at these cards. Like, that's
yeah,
what
that definitely seems like that Swami pack for sure. But it's just it's all right to me. Like it doesn't really hit. Like I remember when you told me you got those booster boxes, I went on their Instagram and looked at them, and I was like, it's all right. But dude, thousands of dollars for a Kickstarter, like it's like, bro, especially with what Magic's doing right now, because that game kind of sits in the Magic sort of like
yeah,
realm. It's definitely not like Pokemon, like pop culture-y, like
no.
like there's less. What does Rudy say? Like the 3.69% beautiful ladies. Like I guarantee you, there's less than 3.69% beautiful ladies into sorcery, bro. Like
Yeah.
thousands
There's
of
no,
dollars.
I don't know a single lady in the sorcery, not a single
It's
one. Yeah.
dude, bro. I don't know, man. Like that to me is a sell. That is a sell at
Yeah,
thousands
and
of
so I don't
dollars.
own any more sorcery at this point because it got really high. Because while I agree with you that, or I disagree with you that I don't, that I, you don't like the artwork. I love the artwork style, and I can see why people like it. I disagree with the prices that it's gotten to, and especially with beta being essentially the same thing, and just also there. It's just crazy to me the prices that we're seeing it stay at. But I think it speaks to the demand that like a quality, like well drawn, like niche game can hold, and that's what that is. They didn't overprint it really.
Hold on, I'm looking at the cards on TCG Player. You know what this reminds me of? This actually looks like a full-on ripoff of Game of Thrones cards. Have you seen Game of Thrones cards? Shouts out to Jason Contrarian cards. This straight up looks like a ripoff of Game of. Even the font looks similar.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
this is definitely that Swami pack, dude. And there's so many cards above $200. This is insane, bro. The
Yeah.
most expensive card is Philosopher's Stone, and it's just like a little orb, and it's 1250. Y'all are dusted. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a wannabe Magic. It's trying to capture the lightning in a bottle that the early Magic years had later on down the years. Like that people looked at that old OG Magic artwork, like the limited print run, the alpha, beta. They're using the same symbols, the same terminology. They're using the same artists that were on those early Magic sets. They're getting like that same nostalgia there. So I mean, they knew what they're doing. I like to think that I knew what I was doing when I sold into that hype at like I sold most of my boxes around 500 to 700, and I think I sold my last two at like 800 in person at Collecticon. But they're higher than that now. So I did sell early, but I sold when I thought was the right timing.
I would. I mean, maybe I'm wrong because I didn't expect it to run up this crazy to begin with, being a Kickstarter TCG. But like, I don't know, man. Like, it's not for me. And I love the niche stuff, but yeah, this is like the Renaissance Fair pack. Like, this is for people that like to dress up as pirates and go to the
Yeah,
Renaissance Fair and do that kind of stuff. And
it's really niche. I think it's one of those things that like the people who like it are gonna really like it, and the people who don't like it are just gonna be like, I can do without it. But I think it deserves a shout out for sure. So shout out
yeah,
social
I
for
mean, if you can
that.
get your boxes as a Kickstarter up to thousands of like respect, respect, I guess. Like that's wild. I mean, geez, crazy, crazy.
Yeah. So next up, I do have a couple of the Christmas Scrooge roundups. We're gonna go through these ones a little quicker though, because they're a little smaller. Because we do have a pretty big section that I wanted to go through, so it didn't take too long. But there were a couple other Christmas Scrooges we should probably mention. Pokemon doesn't, they're not off the hook. The Pokemon Center recently did a big release of a bunch of like old product on the Pokemon Center. They released like Sun and Moon boxes, Unbroken Bonds, like a whole bunch of stuff. But most of those orders ended up getting canceled and refunded. And the Pokemon Center had to send out like oh, we're sorry, guys. And it's pretty funny because I saw a ton of, and also a bunch of tens got restocked, but then the packs that were in the tens were not the packs that were in the tens before. They were like a bait and switch kind of thing. So that happened to a lot of people. So this happens every year. If you are one of those people who was hurt by the Pokemon Center this year, don't worry. You are not alone. Your feelings are valid, and it will not be the last time. If it was the first time, I apologize. But shame on you, Pokemon Center. Do better with your website. But I guess it's just one of those things. I have a feeling that when they restock the website with those Sun and Moon like booster boxes, they've hit the wrong button, and they probably didn't restock the right amount, and they oversold them. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm checking on TCG Player to see if the prices dropped at all. It looks like, I don't know when the drop was, but Evolving Skies has been coming down a little bit since it looks like it peaked at like November 17th at 436, and now it's down to like 420. But it doesn't look like there was no instant drop, because that the Pokemon Center stuff happened. Well, maybe if it happened on the 15th, there was like a slight drop from 418 to 416, but that's not a
It
big
was
deal. Let me look
before
at
that. It was
let me look
before
at
the 15th. It was long
oh,
before that.
okay. Let me look at
And also, speaking of new drops, Lorcana booster boxes have been steadily restocking the market, and we've gotten those booster box prices all the way from 400 down to about 150 pretty steady. They sell about 150 pretty regularly now. And there's been more signs of more restocks hitting the market too. So interesting to see. I personally don't think that these guys deserve to be in the Christmas Scrooge roundup. I actually think that that's what the market needs, is that huge dump right before the holidays. So instead of saying shame on you, I want to congratulate and say well done, Lorcana and Ravensburger, for giving the market what it needs in that flood of profit, or the flood of product, so that they can get their profits up and then make more product and make the game better off in the long run. So that's one of the small little benefits to product being lower in price and coming onto the market, is when there's a large demand for it, it gives the ability for more people to get it.
Okay, so I looked up Sun and Moon. So this is actually kind of crazy. So on the 11th, so I guess the drop must have happened on like the 11th or 12th or something. But so it looks like the 11th it was at 270, and then the 14th it dropped all the way down to 214. So there was like a flash crash, but then it bounced back up. So now,
Yeah, because no one got their actual. So everyone who got the orders, they sold some of their boxes, and it caused this like huge dip. Then when the boxes started coming with the oh, I'm sorry, the refund, here you go, you don't get your boxes. People are like, oh shit, I gotta raise the price again.
yeah, it looks like, well, it's tough to tell because there's like low sales, but sometimes people will list like 36 packs and then list it under booster box, and then those will sell for cheaper. But it
Yeah.
looks like it bounced back up to like lowest listed is like two back, basically back to 270 right now is what it's at. And it looks like there was some sales for, yeah, 270. So it had a little flash crash maybe, and then bounced back up. So maybe that was affected by the drop. It's just interesting to me because it's like, people are always like, oh, the print runs and all that sort of stuff. Like I know Dan has like a print run thing to like estimate the like what pull rates were and like how many of X given card there were out there. But it just goes to show like we have no idea what Pokemon has. I mean, you look at like what distributors have been doing, right? And like all the stuff that distributors still have and are still sitting on. And like, it makes me think of WotC booster boxes. Like during the boom, people like it took time, right? Like it's not in like these are unoptimized markets, so there's going to be arbitrage until things sort of like work themselves out. And when those WotC boxes were selling for like 20, 30 bands for unlimited boxes, there was still a ton out there. And I remember people like commenting in Discord and being like, yeah, there's only like 500 of each box out there. Like crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? And now like those boxes get broken all the time. They're constantly getting auctioned on Golden and Heritage. Like they're super available. It just took time for people to like dig them up, either to buy them from people that were sitting on them, for the people that were sitting on them that didn't even know what Pokemon was going through at the time, to like find out that Pokemon was popping again and the stuff sitting in their attic was worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Like it just took time. But as soon as supply hit, like things chilled out. And it's just interesting to think, like I talked about Dragon Ball Z Score a little bit in one of our podcasts, and people thought like ultra rare, like, oh my God, these are so rare. These are hard to get. And it's like, they're not. It just took people a while to realize like they're worth money now and the market's going crazy. And then all of a sudden stuff starts coming out of the woodwork. And it's not like I think that there's, like hundreds of thousands of the boxes left sealed in perfect condition. Like, I don't know. They bottom line, like they made a lot of this stuff. And people love to think like, oh, this stuff is so rare, but it just goes to show like, don't rush into stuff. Be patient. I don't know about you, but like every single time, and I've only been in for, like past few years maybe, and like got back in like 2021, so I guess only a couple of years, but I every time I thought like, oh, I'm never gonna see this card again. Like this card is so rare, it's so low pop, it's only pop 8, it's only pop 12. I'm never gonna see this card again. I've seen every single card pop back up again. Every single card pop back up again, and it always goes for a lower price because as soon as somebody finds out that that card is selling for something, look at the Illustrator Pikachu's. Oh my god, it's so
Look
rare.
at the
Oh, and like,
pre-release Raichu. I used to say I would never see the pre-release Raichu in my whole life. My fiance and I would have discussions about whether or not it existed. And now there's 2 of them that are graded out in the public like domain. It's like, yeah, it's you'll see the rarest cards. Just
yeah,
give
I
it
mean,
time.
money has a way of bringing that stuff out, man. Like it's yeah, and to be honest, like when I watch like that Golden show on Netflix and you see like these super whales, like these sports whales, I mean, like he at the end of the first season, he goes to this dude's house and the dude is basically like responsible for he started like what's equivalent nice to like Walmart basically in like Puerto Rico or something. Like this dude owns like what's the equivalent of like Walmart. Dude is dumb rich, like multi billionaire, crazy collection. Like he's got like Larry Bird jerseys and like just nutso stuff, dude. Nutso stuff. Like Michael Jackson's hat from like the grain, like crazy stuff. I mean, anyways, but then he's like, yeah, like, but like, give me this like little front or whatever. Like we can consign the collection through Golden, right? And it's like, this dude has plenty of money. He could sit on that stuff for the rest of his life and his family would still be dumb rich. But like it's not even about like people do not very few people hold on to things forever. They might say, "Oh, I'm holding on to this forever." Like how many people you see go like, "Oh, I'm holding my booster boxes for 10, 20 years," and then like 6 months later they haven't moved and they sell them for break even or you know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah, like I don't even know what I'm trying to say with this. I'm just kind of ranting, but it's just like be patient. This stuff has a way of coming back around. Like there's absolutely no reason to feel FOMO, especially for TCG stuff, where most of the people in this space are broke, or they're just like they're not like in a position to where they can justify holding $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million item. They just
Well,
can't.
you
You
and
know what I
you
mean?
and
Like,
my whole business is predicated on people's lack of patience, and we basically we predate, or we are the predators to those people with buy it nows. Buy it now versus auction pricing. The reason you don't do auctions, the reason I do buy it nows, everyone does buy it nows, isn't because it's a better deal for the customer. It has nothing to do with it being the best place to buy. It's simply for people who don't have the patience to wait for something to come to them and get it in an auction or a better price at a cheap, the cheapest possible. It's for people who don't have that patience. They just want to buy it now. So they'll pay the premium to get it now. And so we view that as being like the honorable, like the best way of doing business. It's not. It's honestly, it's worse for the customer to do business that way. But most people in the space think of buy it nows as being like the most ethical way of selling. But I mean, I think it's ethical selling both ways. I don't think that as long as the customer is getting the product and they're happy with the product that they're paying for, you could give them a pile of poop that's wrapped in tinfoil if they like it and they're happy paying the price. And honestly, nobody but the customer and you should have anything to say about that interaction. But that's not likely the case. You have to provide some value. So there is a level of like equilibrium to be made there. That's what I love about this podcast. We talk about that kind of stuff.
yeah, for sure. I mean, like, look, Pokemon's done a good job. I feel like their biggest boo boo was maybe how much they went overboard with like battle styles and shining fates. But like, probably given enough time, at some point, maybe that stuff will move up. I don't know, but they will dial back, I think, if they need to, right? Like if things slow down, like they've been kind of going crazy with Scarlet and Violet and stuff. And it's funny because people are like, oh, I hate Scarlet and Violet, but dude, from my side, like, or even like Paldan, like all these people are like negative about Shiny Treasure and stuff, but it's like the sales don't reflect that. Like, dude, the margin on that set is insane. Like, you can sell raw and still profit if the stuff is not gradable. It sells within 15 minutes. Like, it is crazy, dude. And all these people are hella negative. I'm sure they'll overprint it in English and there'll be tons of it available. But you hear all these people complaining, but it's like at the end of the day, people are buying it, they're enjoying it. The card prices show that. I don't know, man. Like but
all
if things really,
perspective. It's all
yeah,
about perspective.
if things got really bad or whatever, I like to think that Pokemon would chill out a little bit and slow down and print less. But yeah, man, like I don't know, but yeah, I guess all I was trying to say is like be patient. It's like there's literally no, especially right now, like during the holidays and stuff. Like if you're looking for a card to complete your collection or even like a booster, like just be patient. Put blue dot it on eBay, search it on eBay. Just be patient. Just wait. Like you'll probably be able to catch that card on auction for a good deal. There's no reason for you to be rushing into stuff at all. Like it does not feel like that kind of market.
We don't sell toilet paper, hand sanitizer, necessary goods. We don't sell anything that you have to have right now. So that's the beauty of that, is usually with collectibles, you can wait. And the people who do the best when buying collectibles are the people with the most patience. And the people who do the best when selling collectibles are also the people with the most patience, who can wait out the right buyers to sell for. So it goes both ways, you know. So that's the beauty of this this whole game.
And if you're just a collector, think about this too. This is the last thing I'll say. Like, if you're just a collector, unless you're like on your deathbed, and if that's the case, I'm sorry, condolences, all that sort of stuff. But like most of us are probably in like our late 20s, early 30s type. You have plenty of life left to live. You have plenty of life. And if you complete your collection goal tomorrow, what do you like? That's going to maybe take some joy out of it, of the chase and all that. Like, wait, be patient, wait until something feels like a really good deal and makes financial sense. You don't need to complete everything right now. You know what I mean? Like this can be a journey for you, you know, like if you're trying to like flip or invest, like maybe you're looking for like price points to get in at, but like if you just want to build a cool collection and are trying to fill in holes in your collection or whatever, just be patient and wait for good prices. Look on different sites. Maybe look on PWCC or like some of these other auction sites. Look on Probstein or Z&G and like just chill, you know, like enjoy the process. Like not everybody needs to rush into things, especially right now. Like, yeah, man, there's going to be good deals out there, people. So, you know, don't rush. Don't rush. That's the last thing I would say.
And with that, I think we'll go into the crossfire here. We've went through all of our Christmas Scrooges and our holiday roundup. But if you guys know someone down below who deserves a Christmas Scrooge shout out, we probably won't be able to get around to it this time, but tell us in the comments, complain to us about some big corporation that did something that yanked your chain or something. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear anything. So tell me. So let's get into crossfire. Man, these Haribo cherries are delicious.
Man is smacking on those cherries. Let's go.
Listen, we ain't gonna get a Haribo sponsorship if we don't show that we actually like their product. Okay, I'm looking for that gummy money, the gummy bear money. That's what we need to tap into here.
I need that.
I think I always go first with the crossfire. I feel like, so I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Oh, I'm going, or you're going?
I always go first. I feel like, so I think you should go first this time.
All right, so my crossfire is
Oh, wait. Hold on. We didn't do it. No.
It's sometime in the future. The ultimate challenge.
Crossfire without
Crossfire. You can count the crossfire. Crossfire. You'll get caught up in it. It's some.
You'll get caught up in the crossfire. All right. Sorry. Now we can get into the crossfire here.
All right. So my crossfire question is like, and personally, I've never actually had it, but it looks extremely unappetizing to me. The whole holiday thing that is just like oh my God, do not get this for me. This is the worst possible thing, is fruitcake, right? Like people always talk about fruitcake and they're just like, fruitcake is terrible. I'm not talking about your pineapple upside down cake.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm talking about your nasty fruitcake.
Yeah.
If you had to assign, and it could be Scarlet, maybe we do one for Scarlet and Violet and one for Sword and Shield. What is the fruitcake of the Sword and Shield era, and what is the fruitcake of Scarlet and Violet? To where it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe you did this to me.
Too early to say for Scarlet and Violet, but
okay, all right.
But
Sword and Shield,
I think we can safely assign a fruitcake to, which is
it
fun.
could be a card, it could be a sealed product, whatever. Like whatever, you're just like, you know, what's the fruitcake?
Okay, the fruitcake product from Sword and Shield is going to be for me the Black Ultra Premium Collection Zamazenta Zacian box from the early Sword and Shield era that retailed for $129 MSRP, and it had 2 promos that you supposedly could only get in that box, the 2 gold Zashi and Zamazenta promos in it. And it had a bunch of Sword and Shield era packs.
They redid them, right? In the ETBs.
And then, like 3 months later, after they said the only way you'd be able to get those promos, they released those ETBs to like Walmart, Target, like mass retail, and just crushed them. And nothing was good about those boxes. It didn't have good packs in them. The promos were never worth money out the gate. Even when they were exclusive to the UPC, they were bad. And then they so the fruitcake product of the Sword and Shield era, if you invested heavily in any product of the era and it was that product and you went hard on it, that would feel like the biggest fruitcake in my opinion.
Yeah, you're getting cooked. Like on the year chart, like for some reason it looked like it peaked in August at 170, but it looks like, yeah, it's at like, well, it dropped down to October to like 140. So you're definitely losing money there. And then it looks like right now low list is 161. And that's a big product. So after
hard to
fees
ship,
shipping,
yeah,
you're probably breaking even or maybe making $1. But yikes.
And the only reason you're not losing your ass is that most people don't know that product exists. And so that's the thing. That's what makes it the fruitcake product, is that not only is it a low print run, not only is it something that is like a sleeper product that nobody really invested in when it was out, but it just has garbage inside of it, and it's a bad price point, and it's hard. It's like it has nothing going for it. There's no alternate arts. There's no exclusive good packs. There's Vivid Voltage packs are the best packs in it. It's pretty bad. So, if I had to assign a fruitcake product to the Sword and Shield,
I would not have expected that. That was a good one. I totally forgot about that product, but that's. I
didn't forget. I'll never forget about that product because I got cooked on it on release with my distributor because we got both of them, the Ultra Premiums and the ETBs, and that was in a time where you did have to buy basically everything to get because everything that came out was selling out. So like everything you buy was fine if it had packs in it, but that was a stinker of a product even from the get go.
Real quick, like, I mean, obviously neither of us have any sort of insider information, but like, how many? Do you really think that there's a lot of people out there that are just purely sealed collectors that want one of everything, regardless of what it is? Like how many, like what percentage of collectors do you think, you know what I mean? Like to where that's their collection, that's what they like to collect versus people that are just trying to invest maybe and like to kind of have cool looking stuff on their shelf. Like, do you really think that there's a lot of people out there collecting those kinds of products or what? No. I honestly don't know.
No, I don't think there is. I think there's a lot of people out there who have the dream of selling a lot of those garbage products to collectors like you're describing, who want one of every single product and they don't care what's in it and they just want a single one copy of everything. And I think there's a lot of investors who have those collectors in mind when buying bad products that underperform and then overperform. But I think that the amount of people who actually do that, who are going to be in the market for those products, is far smaller than what that investor crowd is thinking. So I think that, I don't think there's a very large amount of people who do that. I think that there's a lot of people who do that with ETBs. because there's a limited amount of them, but that's because there's not one in every single set. There's a starting point, and it's not at the very beginning, so it's like a clear starting point, and you can keep up with it. But other than that,
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
boxes like Steam Decks. Think about all the auxiliary products. Like I could go and grab for you 5 products right now that are different sizes. They're just dud products that are on my shelf still. That with that in mind could be a maybe very valuable in the future. Like these boxes, like right here. Remember these?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. Oh, geez.
Like
Blast from the past.
I mean, then you have these aren't stinker products, but you have like 2-pack promo box. Like there's 2 booster packs. It's Darkness Ablaze and Battle Styles. Those are 3 exclusive promos. But
is that the Snorlax from Classic Collection?
No, that's the Sword and Shield Snorlax from the beginning of Sword and Shield era. I mean, I could show you tons of products like that are just like stinkers that we'll probably never really truly appreciate. And in the first partner packs, but I don't know. I don't think there's people who are going to need those. I truly don't.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's just something I think about because I'm so not really into that world. I look at like a lot of cool Japanese product and like the art on it is really nice on the sealed product. They do a lot of cool like specialty boxes, like the EV Gym box was really sick. I can see people wanting that sort of stuff to put on their shelf because it's like a cool display piece. But and then like looking back on like the Heart Gold Soul Silver era, like dude. The Japanese boxes, Arita snapped. Like those are the best looking booster boxes of all time. Don't at me. Clash of the Summit with the Rayquaza is insane, dude. Like Reviving Legends has got the legendary dogs on it. I don't know, man. And even some of the new the Sword and Shield stuff, like they did one called Champions Road, and it was kind of like a weird reprint set, but they had like Dark Tyranitar Hollow reprint was in that, and then like the Blaziken from Ruby and Sapphire base was in there. But the box is sick. It's like a white box. It's got all the Johto Pokemon on it, Scizor, Feraligatr. Like it looks sick. I could see people wanting to collect that because that kind of stuff looks good, but it just seems like a lot. And like you said, to have all the different sizes and stuff, like I mean, you'd have to have so much storage space to, or like do a whole room dedicated to this Pokemon sealed product to like, you know what I mean, to have that as a collection. The ETBs make sense because the art's cool and you can stack them, but
yeah, so it's going to be each product individually. I think you're going to have to look at, not as a whole, every product. So like a Gengar EX box from the XY era is going to do really, really good. Whereas like a Mega Sizor box or like a Mega Beedrill box or something from the same era is probably not going to do as good as the Gengar box. And that doesn't necessarily have to do with the packs inside of it. It has to do with there being Gengar collectors who will specifically want the Gengar box for their Gengar collection to display. Whereas there's not as many like Mega Beedrill collectors, and so you're going to rely on that one of everything collector, which I just don't think exists. But then people see those Gengar EX boxes, the Dragonite EX boxes do really good, and they're these random auxiliary products, and they're saying, oh, well, these do good. This other random auxiliary product will probably do good too, because they assign the reason that those other boxes do well to them being like those types of collectors. So I don't know. I disagree with that notion that there are a lot of collectors like that, but I agree that there are some boxes that will appreciate better than others, but it's completely independent depending on the product.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. All right, what was your crossfire?
Mine. It's always food themed. One of these days I'm going to cross over from the Pokemon into the food realm of podcasting. I think PokeChef is going to come on the channel eventually and be on a trainer spotlight or something. So we'll talk a lot about food with that for sure. So definitely be following along for that. But your crossfire, sir, has to do with the holidays, has to do with food, and I want to know what it is around the holidays. What meal that you look forward to the most, or if you could have one single holiday meal, like on Christmas, what do you think that optimal meal would be? Not like your last meal kind of thing, but like, what do you think the best Christmas meal in your ideal setting is?
Well, all right. So for like honorable mention, like just honestly in general, like dude, I can't really I don't really eat it anymore because I'm trying to chill out on the carbs and be a little healthier. But bro, like ever since I was a kid, even mac and cheese in general, like I just love me a good mac and cheese. And like my mom will make like a mac and cheese kind of like casserole situation in the baking pan to where like it's like kind of crispy on top and then it's gooey and then like oh my god, I will destroy that. But I would say like my favorite sort of holiday meal, I will fuck up some prime rib with like a little creamy horseradish on it. Oh my god, dude! I love prime rib. Love prime rib with like with the creamy the what is the brand like Beaver or something like the little Beaver horseradish creamy horseradish dog like oh my god I love prime rib with like maybe some like mashed potatoes and like I don't green beans or asparagus or whatever for like the green side. But like, yeah, man, prime rib. Whew,
We got to go to the house of prime rib sometime because this is the second time prime ribs come up in the podcast now. It came up in the Pokemon section last time when we were talking about it too. So we definitely need to go to the house of prime rib someday, which is out in San Francisco. It's like a famous steakhouse kind of thing. It's like it's called
Okay.
the House of Prime Rib, and it's been there for years. And it's the classic place that has the big prime rib that comes to your table at the cart, and they slice you off however big of a piece you want, and put the au jus on it, and the scoop of the mashed potatoes and cream spinach. It's a very traditional, but very like old
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, man, I love prime rib so much. Like my grandparents, it's kind of like a tradition usually for like Christmas or New Year's. They'll get a prime rib and cook it and bring it over, and it's just like, oof, man,
That's what
I
we
will
used to do
destroy
for
that.
my grandparents while they were still alive as well. So I love me some prime rib for that reason. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, yeah. It's hard to beat, man. Like it's weird. A lot of people are like haters on turkey. Like I like turkey too. I'm not gonna lie. Like as long as it's not dry, I love turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes. But man, prime rib, undefeated, undefeated,
What
man.
about ham? Where's ham line up in
I
that
don't, I don't, I
lineup
don't really,
there?
I don't really do a whole lot of pork. I can't really do a whole lot of pork. Like I like bacon and stuff, but I don't do a whole lot of pork. Ham just ain't really hitting for me. Like it's kind of sweet and it just
It's got to be a really good one. I've definitely had some hams that feel like they weren't as like good as others, but I've had certain hams where I was like, "Damn, that's a good ham!" Like a good maple honey glaze kind of
I don't
situation.
know. Like I don't really. It's. I mean, I'll eat it. If it's the only thing, but it's probably like my least. Like it's probably the farthest. Like I'll eat chicken and turkey and fish and steak and all that stuff before I'll eat ham. And if we're at like a holiday thing where there's multiple choices and like it's like a ham and a turkey or a ham and a roast beef or so, like I'll always choose the beef over the. I just it's like a little too sweet for me maybe. And again, like I just don't do a whole lot of pork in
You're not
general.
going to make a lot of friends in the comment section. All the ham lovers are not going to love you in this particular one. Man, yeah, making any
I mean,
allies.
part of it is like health reasons. I think too. Like pigs are a little wild, but it's yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at it. It's just like not. It's not my first choice. So
When
you
it
know.
comes to the three big ones, when it comes to like turkey, ham, or prime rib, I would have to say turkey's number one for me. Like by and far number one. I love turkey. But like a good prime rib, definitely in my opinion, is better than a good ham. Like a really
Yeah,
good prime
yeah,
rib
yeah.
is like so good. So I can't argue with that.
Yeah, if I'm pulling up to your crib and you got like the pineapple on top of the ham, it's like I'm all
There's
set.
nothing wrong with that though. I like a good ham. I will say like so for me, I need ham to be with scalloped potatoes instead of mashed potatoes. So you have like that cheese and ham kind of situation going on there with like that's the dish that needs to be served with ham. Where if I roll up and you're serving like basically instead of prime rib, it's a ham and you have mashed potatoes and gravy and all that stuff. I'm like, that's a weird situation. That's a really weird situation.
The one thing I will say, me and my girlfriend like to go out to this place called El Gaucho, and it's like a steakhouse, but they have one of the appetizers is like this pork belly, and it comes with like a maple gas streak on it. Oh my god, dude! And like pickles, some sort of pickled
Pork belly is
like
lights
diced.
out. Yeah.
Dude, it's like it's melt. You know what I'm saying? Like it just melts. It's oh my god. So we get that when we go. And
There's
yeah,
a gas station that has chicharron near me that I can drive like 5 or 10 minutes to go, and they make it really fresh. And it's like they leave a bunch of meat on it too, so it's like really, really crispy, melt in your mouth. But then there's like the meat part on it. It's like really delicious and succulent, and like, oh my gosh, I just get a little tapatio, a little lime, put a little salt, and just kind of eat that in the bag on the way home. That's one of my favorite little like just like a treat to get because pork belly is delicious.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. It's insane. It's not the healthiest, but like, man, yeah, it's a good
that's
one.
a shout out to pork for being really, really fatty. But it's delicious, you know, and in moderation, everything can be enjoyed, you know. So that's always been my sort of take is like everything in moderation, right? Not that I actually follow much of that, but that's the idea. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, so for the rest of the podcast here, we do have a pretty fun new segment that we're going to do. This is going to be interesting because we've never actually done this before, but we're actually going to, let me add it to the stage here. We're going to rank the holiday sets. So, you know, we have all of every year, there's usually right before the holidays or right around the holidays, there's some sort of a specialty set that Pokemon releases. And so I went ahead and I made a tier chart and I put all of those specialty sets, which none of which include booster boxes. So none of these sets ever were released in a way that you could buy booster boxes of them, except for Call of Legends. So everything goes all the way back down to Call of Legends. That's the farthest I went. And the only reason I included Call of Legends on this list is because it's an English exclusive. Lots of English exclusive cards were put into that set. They didn't get it in Japan. The shinies were all like play promos, I believe, over there. So they were a lot harder and different. It was a different distribution method. And we got a lot of cards and hollows and patterns and things that they just never got. So
Wait, really quick on the Shining Legends, is that just Raikou, Entei, and Suicune?
Shining Legends?
Or not Shining Legends, the one you call Legends. Is that...
No, Call of Legends has all of the shinies. It has the Deoxys, it has the Rayquaza, it has
so some of them were Get campaign promos to where they were only printed, I want to say it's like the Lugia, and some of them were limited to 1,000, some of them were limited to 3,000. But then the Suicune, Raikou, and Entei, I want to say that came out of like a limited like a blister pack. Like the cards came in the product, and then there was some packs in there as well. I'm pretty sure that's where those came from. It was like
there were alternate art promos that we got in the shiny dogs in a 10 in English that weren't in the Call of Legends set. That those might have been the ones you're talking about in Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, so I included Call of Legends because I thought it was a special set. I think it's deserving of being on this tier chart. It may go right to the top of the tier, or maybe it'll go to the middle. I don't know. We'll discuss it as we go. But I thought this would be a fun way to kind of end the year. This will be our last podcast of the year before the new year here, and this would be a great way to kind of go out. We could kind of go through and decide where we wanted to place these and see if people agree with us.
Yeah, so what are we doing? Are we doing like one at a time, like we each pick one and rank it, or how do you want to do this?
I was thinking we could go through it together, and so we could kind of go through these and decide where we would place them, and then in the comments, people can tell us whether or not they agree or disagree or why, and we can kind of just talk it out as we go and just kind of go through quickly and rate these and see where it goes.
All right, so you want to start far upper left and then work our way over? So
let's just do that. Let's just work from the the top left, the Scarlet Violet 151, and then work our way all the way down. So,
I don't know about you. 151's an S for me. Like that's it's at least an A, but like I don't know. I feel like that's an S. Like
it's funny starting off so hot with an S tier, but I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I don't think there's anyone in this whole hobby who's going to be like, you know what, 151, That's a mid set. That's no good. Maybe that's not true. Maybe there are some people who would say that, but I'm not
If
one of
you
those people.
disagree with us or if you agree with us, leave your opinions in the comment below. Let us know where you guys think these different sets should be properly rated. But
Yeah.
even if you're dusted, we'll respect your comment. So
There's just something about the original 151 that even though it's like Poke Boomers who are loving that set the most, and the argument might be that there's not very much excitement for people who came in after the 1990s, that boom. But I think that even younger people who didn't experience that original boom still have stuff from the original Kanto Pokemon that they like. Like kids all the time come up saying they love Charizard. So like there's something I think to be said for 151, even for non-Poke Boomers. So that one's got to be at the top. And if you think
yeah,
it's top, tell me down below, please. I need to know why it's not an S tier set.
I mean, even if like the one thing I'll say really quick about 151, I know we got to rip through this, but like, dude, even the mids Pokemon or like the C tier Pokemon, like the Tangela art is fire, dog. With him like swinging from the tree with the like, come on, bro. Like, there's not a bad thing you could say,
dude. Yeah,
it's good, man. There's not a bad thing you can say about that set. Like, they didn't go overboard with the waifu. I kind of wish they would have done like more of the trainers in general, not just like waifus, but I wish they would have done like, maybe like a Lieutenant Surge or a Koga.
Professor
Like,
Oak.
Yeah, Professor Oak would have been sick. Like
why not Professor Oak? Like literally,
yeah, but
like he.
Overall, like I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. Like I love that set. So all right, what do you think about Champion's Path? Let's hear. What do you think?
Okay, so Champion's Path is a set that I think is going to be it's going to be looked back on better than it was during the era, but it's never going to be looked back on fondly. I can't say that I think it's a C tier, but I can't say it's like a D tier. I feel like it's between a C or a D. I don't think it's the worst set ever made, but I certainly think it's close to one of the worst specialty sets ever made.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C. I think like the only thing that keeps it from being a D are the two Charizards. Like I like the Charizards a lot, so that's enough to give it a C for me. But like overall, like that, there's not much else in that product, and
it's got like Gardevoir. It's got like a trainer, and no, it doesn't even have a trainer. I think it's Hop. Hop is a trainer in there, and he's like a $3 card. Yeah, I just even giving it a C is hard for me, and so I wish we could give it a between. Yeah, I think there could be an argument for it being a D tier, but we'll put it at C tier with the caveat that I think it could slip right below.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think anyone in the comments is going to disagree with that. They may even say we put it too high and we need to make its own tier for below D tier. Okay, so this next one though, this is gonna be a fun one. This is Crown Zenith, and so this is what do you think about Crown Zenith? We talked a little bit about it already.
Dude, like I know I just opened it and hit 3 cards back to back, so maybe I'm a little biased, but Crown Zenith is basically just V Star Universe in English. I love V Star Universe. Personally, I think Crown Zenith is an A set. The supply is a little up. We kind of talked about this before the podcast, but like I don't know, man. Like if Pokemon's strong in 2 years, you gotta think that streamers, because it's so fun to open, like you gotta think that streamers, pack rippers, YouTubers are gonna be opening Crown Zenith 2 years from now because the cards they just look good. There's a lot of popular Pokemon. There's a lot of good full arts. Personally, I would give Crown Zenith an A. What do you think?
I think Crown Zenith is up there in the A to S tier realm. There's very few things about Crown Zenith that I would say would not make it an S tier. The only thing I might say is the lack of like Gen 1 Pokemon love. It gets a lot of Pokemon love from overall Galarian. Like you get all the Galarian styles of the Gen 1 Pokemon. You get like the legendaries, like you pull the Zamazenta and the Zacian. You get a lot of that like newer era from it. But there's the Mewtwo, but other than the Mewtwo, it's like doesn't have so much for those like Gen 1ers. So that would make me not want to put it as an S tier, not because I think that those Gen 1er Pokemon are necessary to be an S tier, but for it to be a mass appeal for the long term, I think they are necessary. So I don't know if Mewtwo and like Pikachu, the secret rare Pikachu are enough. But the secret rare Pikachu is really cool. So I'm going to put it between an A and an S, but I'm going to lean more on the A tier more than the S.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you
Drop
agree with
that
that?
bad baby on a
Okay.
Dragon Ball. So in Japanese, it's called Dragon Selection. I
Mhm.
actually bought a sealed booster box of this maybe like a year ago and opened it because the math made sense to get every single card in the set is a holo. So to get packed fresh holos of that entire set, there are some popular Pokemon in it. Oh, okay. Is that English? I can't see.
No, that's Japanese.
Okay, yeah. So, I'm a fan. I actually kind of like. I'm a huge fan of Gen 3, so I like that it has the Salamence line in it a lot. Um, Latios and Latios. It's got Dragonite. It's got Rayquaza. But the rest of the Pokemon are kind of like, not super great. Like it's got like Haxorus and like some other Axu and less pop Bagon, Shell. Like tough for me. So I think overall I'm gonna give that one a B probably. What do you think?
So Dragon Vault in English was a really weird set because it came out in a time where Pokemon wasn't that popular or really that booming, and it didn't have a lot of real big chases in it. I think the big chase is like a Mew,
Rayquaza.
maybe, or Rayquaza. Yeah,
Rayquaza. Yeah.
or not Mew, not Mew. It's Rayquaza. That's right. I'm thinking Dragon, the later on down the other set that came out later than that. Yeah, it's the Rayquaza, and it's just a holo, I think. So like that one, like, while I think is really cool, it's an all dragon set, and I'm a dragon type. Like, if I ever had to be like a gym leader, I would want to be a dragon type gym leader. So, like, I like that about it, but it's not enough for me to put it high on the tier list. I might even say it's like a C tier set, maybe even
Okay.
lower. It's like a C or D. I honestly don't think it even has as much as Champions Path that people are going to want to go back to. I actually have to disagree with the B, and I might go C or D, maybe even on the D. It might be my first D tier set.
First D. I mean, it's got. All right. I would say the hits: Rayquaza, Dragonite, Latios, and Salamence are probably like the biggest.
But they're all just half arts, right? And every card is
I
a
mean,
hollow.
everything was a half art back then. Come on.
No, I mean there were some like full like level X's and like I mean there was also the legends and I think this is in black and white era, so they did have full arts. It's just, I don't think I can give it.
You're giving it. You're putting it under D. You're putting it under D.
And that's someone I actively look to buy these packs when I see them in the wild. Like I talk to PK about it occasionally because like he likes this set. I think too. It's one of those like weird sets that I like. And I think certain people like it, but I do think it deserves to be on the lower tier, maybe on the D.
The
First
other thing that's cool about it in English that they didn't do in Japanese is like they stamp the name on the like in the hollow part, which is kind of cool. I
It's
like
kind
that
of
a
cool,
lot.
but kind of not at the same time. You have to like stamps. So for someone like me, I
Yeah,
think it's gaudy. I don't like it. It's like you should know what the set is. It should have enough identity. You don't have to put the set stamped. You
that's
know.
fair. That's like the one thing that I do like about like English mid EX era is like the stamped and the reverse hollows and stuff. But I'm
I
not mad
agree
at
with
you
that take. I do agree with that take. But
if
for
you
this
want
case, yeah.
if you want to throw it under D. I'm not gonna
I was
be.
gonna say, what if we took the average and did C? Because you said B. Do you still feel like you like the set just because the Pokemon, they're good
Maybe
enough
not a B.
Pokemon?
I might have been a little dusted putting it under B. So yeah, maybe we meet in the middle and do C
Okay, yeah, 'cause
minus.
I think I might be a little harsh on it, not having full arts and having all like half arts and stuff, and calling it a D tier because of that. Because I do like the set and I like the Pokemon in it, and I like the rarity. It was a very, very short print set, so like I like that it's rare. That's why I seek it out. This next one's gonna be easy.
Oof, yeah, that's straight to the bottom for me. That's Booferoonie. I'm putting
Trick,
that on.
trick question. It's gonna be easy for me to throw everyone off. I actually think Pokemon Go is a B tier set.
You are so dusted. It's unbelievable, dog. Oh my, a B tier?
First of all,
Pompadour, bro. Come on.
I want you to look at this list, and when we're at the end of the list, it'll make a lot more sense. But Pokemon Go is not a C or D tier set when you compare it to some of these other sets that are going to end up on that list. Pokemon Go has the big three in Radiant. I know they're not hard to pull, but they are in there, and that's something that people will probably want in the future. It has a ton of Kanto Pokemon, all of them are hollows. So all of the hits are hollows, and they're all somewhat decent Pokemon in them. And I feel like Pokemon Go is like a unique sort of time. And even though they missed that time frame by about 4 to 6 years when making this set, I do think that the people who look back on Pokemon Go and on the set, even if it never gets another reprint or the game dies, I think it has enough that people will remember that it's going to be a set people will go back to. Right now, it's an awful set, and everyone's going to say D tier because it's less than $2 a pack, and nobody wants to open anything from. But it has an alternate art Mewtwo, dude. It has
The
this
alternate
rainbow
art
rare
Mewtwo
Mewtwo.
is,
It has
bro,
Dragonite.
the AR Mewtwo is better than the alternate. Okay, this is crazy. Conkeldurr V alternate art, market price $1, and this is the only $2 alternate art in the
I know.
entire
Conkeldurr is the
Sword and
worst
Shield.
alternate art. So I'm not
Why
going
did
to
they
argue.
do that? Like, I don't know if that's meta, maybe. Like, maybe.
In the game, he's a really high-powered fighting type,
Yeah,
and you use
all
him
right.
in Pokemon Go a lot.
I think the art on the Radiance is cool. All right, like if you're going with B, we got to meet in the middle and throw it on C, like because
Listen, it's a better set than Champion's Path.
I can't go that far. We got to meet in the middle and C, dude. If you think it's a
We
B,
can, but I disagree with this one. I think that
all
this
right.
set needs to be higher, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and tell me in the comments if I'm completely dusted, as Nick's saying. I think Pokemon Go needs to go to B tier. I think it being on the C tier is doing injustice to the others. It's giving too much credit to the other sets on the C tier. That's what I think.
I think Ray would be happy to hear that because I think Ray has some Pokemon Go that he bought at the bottom, and I mean he's doing well on it, but
I could be wrong because I love Pokemon Go. Like my fiance and I, we really bonded with Pokemon Go, so we spent a lot of time playing it. So like I like Pokemon Go as far as that. Like I'm biased with that, but that aside, I'm not using that bias. I'm trying to look aside from that bias. I think that enough other people are going to look back at the Pokemon Go set and everything it has going for it. It's not a bad set. It has alternate arts in it. I mean, it's going to be, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think it deserves to be on the B tier. We'll see at the end of this. Once we have all the rest of the list, I'll make another argument. So, all right, let's
what
move
about
on.
Shining Fates? I'm gonna be quick with this one. It's got some cool stuff, but it's a C. It's a C for me. It is like they printed too much of it. The only real chase is the Charizard VMAX. The Shiny Vault's all right, but it's just not overall. It's just like you always wished it was Hidden Fates. You know what I'm saying? Like you wished Hidden Fates was in stock, but you would settle for Shining Fates because it was the only thing other than Battle Styles available to open during the boom. I had got lucky and hit like a lot of Charizards back when I was opening that, and that was fun and nostalgic for me. But it's a C. What do you? I mean, you pretty quickly moved it there.
I agree with you on it being a C tier. I don't think it's a D tier because I think that the fact that it has the Shiny Vault, it has the Charizard, it has like stuff that people still want to collect the whole set. People are collecting binder sets of it. Like even they're not grading; they're just collecting the singles. So that alone means that it deserves to be on that next tier up. But I don't think it deserves to be on the B tier. I definitely think it deserves that C tier. And I would say if I was given the choice of like Champion's Path to Shining Fates to Pokemon Go to Dragon Vault, out of those, I would still go with Pokemon Go out of those to open up probably. So,
all right, Double Crisis. You go first on Double Crisis.
Double Crisis is one of those sets that came out, and only came out in blister packs. So we never got ETBs of this. We never got like a big massive release with like big boxes or anything. It was in big box stores, and it was in 2 blisters. Or in blister packs, you got like a Team Magma and a Team Aqua pack, and it was like double packs. And these things were worth nothing for the longest time, and nobody wanted them. It was a tiny set of like 25 cards with very few secret rares, and the most valuable card was only like a couple dollars in it, and it was the Primal Groudon. I think there's some trainers and stuff. This set was a stinker. And so I still think that this set offers very little that people would ever want to go back to. You can buy almost every single from the set except for now the big hits being the Groudon and the Kyogre, Team Aqua, Team Magma. Those ones are a little more expensive, but they're still not expensive compared to what the sealed product is. This has got to be a D tier. I mean, this
A D?
okay, it's
Whoa,
tier
well,
D, but there's nothing going for it.
I
There's
mean, okay,
no.
well, all right. I might be kind of dusted because I am like Gen 3 is like I grew up on Gen 1, but like I have by far the most hours logged on Ruby and Sapphire. I'm a huge Gen 3 fan. I've actually been grading some of the hollows of like Team what is it, like Team Aqua's Sharpedo, and then I think I graded like a Team Magma's Claydol. I like the arts with the Team Aqua and Team Magma in them are kind of sick. I agree with you though that like there's not a lot in it. There's only 2 chase cards. It's the full art Kyogre EX and the full art Groudon, Team Magma's Groudon EX. Those are sick cards. I like them a lot. They're pretty expensive in Japanese. I don't know if I really like the arts on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased. I agree with you that like it's a small set. There's not a lot outside of the 2 chase cards. D seems harsh, but I'll let you have this one. I'll let you have this
Well,
one.
okay, I get that they're full arts, but like for the longest time, it's characters on it, the Team Aqua, Team Magma characters that nobody really collects or cares about, and the arts were just underappreciated for a long time too. Nowadays they've been trending upwards quite a bit. They've actually boomed. This set's boomed a lot, and I think that a lot of people listening to this now are not going to have the perspective of what this set was doing 2 years ago during the boom. This set was garbage during the boom. Like nobody wanted it, and I think that if during the boom nobody wants it, that's a tough sell for me. I think it deserves to be our first D. I think
All
there could have
right.
been another D on this, this chart, but that's the first one for sure, I think.
All right.
And as quickly as we got our first D,
We might be getting our second. All right, here's the
yeah,
deal.
I think
I watched the movie with my girlfriend not too long ago because I had never seen it, and it's cute. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad at the Detective Pikachu movie, but the cards are kind of boofaroony, dog. Like they're kind of boof. That one's a D. That
bad
one's a D.
release, bad products, bad chase. The chase card is like the Godzilla full art. The guy from Godzilla, the actor, he has
Oh,
like
with the
snubble.
snubble, or what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the full art
yeah.
from the movie, it's like, oh, it's a really bad chase. So yeah, that's an easy. I love the movie actually. We had fun. I've watched it once and I'm not mad at it at all. I hope we get another like sequel or something, but no, the cards are awful. That's a D tier as well. I was
Yeah,
worried we wouldn't have enough D tiers, but that one's definitely
yeah.
a D
We're
tier.
in agreement on that one for sure.
Okay, Shining Legends though. I want to hear your take on Shining Legends, and I'll tell you my take because I think people already know probably. I want to know what you think about this set.
So Shining Legends is like a 50-50 situation because some of the Shinings are filthy. Like my favorite Rayquaza art in the hobby is that Shining Rayquaza. I love that card. It's got a lot of popular Pokemon. It's got Mew, it's got Selby, it's got Ho-Oh, it's got Lugia. I'm not even saying this to get on Ray's good side. I like Shining Legends a lot. The texture on them in Japanese is sick. I'm going to give it a B. I think the only reason that it pulls it down a little bit is some of the other Pokemon are kind of mid, like Volcanion and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like Shining Legends is a pretty cool set. I like Shining Legends, so I'm going to personally give it a B. But what do you?
Yeah, I think in this one we're gonna agree because I do think Shining Legends, while it's a good set, I don't think it's a great set. Like I think it has in the Shinings part of the set where the half art Shinings are located, those are fantastic. I like the pull rates they had in English. I like the Pokemon they chose. I like the artwork on them. I love everything about that.
Oh, it's got Mewtwo. But I forgot
I was
about that.
about
It's
to
got
say, in the
Mewtwo. Yeah.
regular set, I love the Mewtwo and the Rainbow Mewtwo as well. The Rainbow Mewtwo is really cool, and really hard to pull. So like those 2 cards in the main set, and it's got an Entei. It's got a Rainbow Entei in it, which is pretty cool. Random, but pretty cool. And so like I like the set. I agree with you though. I don't think it has enough going on for it that it's going to break into that A or S tier. It's not Hidden Fates. I know this because when Hidden Fates was available on the actual shelves, when you had the choice between Shining Legends and Hidden Fates, there's not a single person who chose Shining Legends. So it's definitely a B tier. I think that's a great. It'll be our first B tier, and I think that's a good one. Solid.
All right. What about Call of Legends?
Whew, this one's gonna be okay. So this one I think is one of the sets that people forget about a lot. I think Call of Legends might be one of the best English sets ever made. Um, it's got a lot going for it, but I don't know if it deserves to be in the S tier. And it's weird for me to say those two things at once, saying it's one of the best English sets ever made, but I don't know if it deserves to be in the S tier. What do you think about this?
I'm looking at the set list right now because, admittedly, outside of the Chinese and Japanese, I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about any English sets really, but it's. I'm looking at the set list and it's got it's got the Lugia, the Kyogre, Groudon, Raikou, Rayquaza, Ho-Oh, Deoxys, Dialga, Palkia, Suicune. Like it's and you know,
Got
and
an
then it's got
Umbreon Hollow that goes a million miles a minute. It's beautiful. It's like
yeah, and then it's got like a Lugia. I haven't seen this in Japanese, this Lugia Hollow, so I don't know if that's an English exclusive or
most
not.
of the hollows, if I'm not mistaken, are English exclusives, and that's
Okay.
one of the things that Call of Legends has going for it that will always.
Bro, the Ninetales is
Yeah.
filthy. I like the Ninetales. So I've seen this Gyarados in Japanese before.
Oh, the Call of Legends Gyarados is awesome. I love it. Yeah, so like the hollows in it are good. I honestly think that Call of
Oh, and
Legends
it's
is
got the energies that have
the Pokemon on them.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Pokemon on the back too.
It might be an S tier. I might be wrong thinking it doesn't deserve S tier. It just I don't know if it has enough Kanto Pokemon for me to put it in the S tier. It's all those like second, third generation, which I like, but it's just like I don't know if the rest of the market feels that way.
We can do A.
But do you think it has is there an argument to be made for it being S tier though?
I would say like I mean, again, I don't know how much of this is out here, but I'm just looking at what's available, and I'm on page 2, and literally like every Pokemon that's a chase outside of Smeargle, and even the Smeargle is sick. Every single Pokemon that's a holo rare is like a popular Pokemon. You know, like it's so it's kind of it's kind of tough. I'm honestly surprised some of these prices are so cheap on here. Like I'm looking at the prices.
They're not in PSA 10. It's very, very
It's just
expensive
raw.
and
Because dude,
graded.
like the Lugia Hollow is set. Well, hold on. Let me click it. Okay, no, it's up. Never mind. I'm dusted.
I think it needs to be in the S tier.
Okay, well, like the Lugia in near mint on condition near mint is only $28. That seems pretty cheap for a Lugia Hollow. Like I don't know, man. So yeah, let's give it S. I'm not mad at it, and I really like the Shinings in Japanese, and they have the limited, you know,
the hollow border
stuff.
in English. The hollow border is so good looking too. It looks amazing.
All right, yeah, we'll give that one an S. Paldean Fates. So basically, shiny treasure EX.
Yeah, so we don't have this in English yet, but we're about to get it. I thought that since this was going to come out, and then people would watch this, and they'd probably be opening it as they watch it, maybe going back. It would be worth mentioning. But Paldean Fates, basically EX Shiny Treasures in Japanese, the newest shiny set that we're getting. Where would you put this bad boy? You know it better than me, probably.
You know, like personally, like I like it. I'm gonna give it a I'm gonna give it like it's right in between A and B for me. It's tough, man, because the chases are pretty good. It's got like Gardevoir, Mew, and Charizard and Iono as like the chase cards for it. I'm not mad at the shiny vault. It's got a lot of Pokemon I like. I'm sure they'll print the living bejesus out of it in English, but I think people are going to enjoy opening it if it has similar pull rates to Crown Zenith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm in the Christmas spirit. Let's give it an A.
So I wanted to give it an A too, but I'm looking at some of the rest of the sets we have going here, and I'm looking at what else is going to be on that A chart, and I can't in good faith give it an A when I think it might be a B set that is on the verge of being an A set, because
All right, B plus, B plus.
I'm gonna call it a B plus. I want to call Paladin Fates a solid B plus, and I'm a B
Okay.
plus student, so that's like, and I think that's good. I personally think that's pretty good. So I, you know,
I'm not mad at that. We can meet it. We can meet it at B. I think people are gonna have a good time opening it if it's
yeah.
anything like the Japanese version. It's been extremely liquid. The
And I
margins are
want it to
good.
be an A. I just think that it's on the precipice, and I think I could be wrong, and maybe in the future it becomes A if people like it more than I thought. But I think it's got a really good shiny vault. It's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, 100%. Which is sad because like that, it's all cheap. But like those, yeah, the Shining Ball is fire for sure.
Okay,
So,
I gotta say something about Celebrations.
all right.
I personally think that Celebrations is one of the best releases that Pokemon's ever made in the time it was dropped. I say that because at the time it was the boom, the pandemic. The thing that people wanted the most out of Pokemon was vintage packs. They wanted that vintage opening experience, but they didn't want to pay too much for it because who has the money to spend on vintage packs, especially in the boom? So Pokemon delivered with what I believe was one of the most perfect timed and perfectly designed sets of all time in the form of Celebrations. That being said, same thing I said about Call of Legends. I don't think it deserves to be an S tier because, like, I think that for the time it was S tier, but now looking back, people don't care as much about that vintage experience. That was kind of booming. So I'm gonna put it as an A tier. That's gonna be my argument for Celebrations. It's a solid A tier, but it's an A tier.
Well, I guess we're throwing it on B because I'm giving it a C. I think like it's a reprint set. It's kind of mid to me. In English, it's super mid. In Japanese, the hollow, like out of all the reprint of the base set Charizards, that like the Japanese one is my favorite, or of the 25th anniversary one. I love that card a lot. The texture on it is bonkers. But yeah, it's getting a C from me. Like there's a few standouts, but like it's just reprints with these cheap looking stamps on them. You open those packs and it's like so repetitive. You get like a bazillion Lugia and hollows. It's cool the first time you open it, but then after that, it's mid. I'm giving it a C. So we can meet at B. We can meet
I'm
at B.
so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry.
We can meet at B for that one.
We
But
didn't do this before. We didn't do a pre-podcast, so I couldn't vet what he was about to say. So I had no way of knowing he was about to say such slander to Celebrations that he just did. So I'm sorry, guys.
yeah, so
You can put in your applications down below.
yeah, for new podcast
Yeah.
hosts.
So
Yeah.
no. So Celebrations. I hear you. I hear you. It's a reprint set. And
They chose a lot of cards too that already had multiple reprints. Like that Rayquaza, that Mega Rayquaza
good,
has like
man.
7 different versions, especially in Japanese, because there's like a Pokemon Center version, and then they printed it in this thing called like the extra regulation box, and like there's so many. Yeah, I'm all set. I'm giving it a C. I do agree with your point though that like they released it during the right time when people wanted to get that vintage hit and couldn't afford to spend $500 to open a vintage pack. So that I agree with, but yeah, the set construction is boofaroonie. I mean, the full art, like the full art CGI Pikachu's are cheeks. I'm not a fan. I can't do it. Can't
It's
do it.
such a masterful set that having to put it as a B just because that's the average is just killing me right now. And so down below, tell me
Hurts your soul.
it's hurting my soul. It's gonna mess up the whole thing. Because like looking at like Celebrations, Paldean Fates, Shining Legends. I mean, I guess looking at that chart, they do feel like they're of similar tiers. Paldean Fates may let's move on. The comment section is gonna have fun with this one. Just
Yeah.
know I think it deserves to be an A, and
Oof.
we're meeting in the middle on this one. Okay.
All right.
Generations. Have you ever opened much Generations, Nick?
I opened that one pack with you at
That's right. We did that at Collecticon. That's right.
Yeah, we did the pack battle. I'm looking at it on TCG Player right now. I like a lot of these cards. Like the M Charizard EX art is sick to me.
Pikachu's really good.
Yeah, like the evolutions. I love those where they're like popping out of the art kind of a little bit. Like
alien eyes, big old popping eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Gengar. I really like this Gengar a lot too. I've graded a couple of those. I like this set. Like after the first page, it gets kind of sussy, but I'm gonna. It's tough, man, because like there's so many other, like now that I'm looking at the board with everything else up there, it's tough. I'm gonna give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C. It's good, but like I don't know if it's got enough to quite bump it up to like B tier. So
I think I might be jaded with this set because when I got back into the hobby, it was on the tail end of releasing like those little collection boxes. So with Generations, the way they released it, 20th anniversary set, for the entire year, every single month, they released a different product, a new Generations product, and it just dragged out the release the entire year and made every single person who saw it just not want it. So I may be biased about Generations, but I don't like it as a set that much. Like looking back on it, I feel like I should have liked it a little bit more than I did, but it just wasn't that fun to open and the chase wasn't there. And I like the arts in some of it, but I'm gonna agree with you. I think it
Oh,
doesn't
wait. Hold up. Okay, so they separated the Radiant collection out. Now that I'm looking at the Radiant collection, because I do like a lot of these cards a lot. I don't know. Maybe yeah, I don't. Maybe it still gets a C, but it's like a B minus. It's like 1 percentage point away from being like a C plus B minus situation. Maybe we still give it a C, but like the Radiant collection's got some good stuff in it for sure. Like I like that Charizard. In Japanese, the border is hollow on that, and it's got like the cool hollow overlay. I
nothing
really
that's
like.
hard to pull is the only issue in that set. So I'll agree with you on that. But there are some really good arts in the Radiant collection. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean the flare, not the super expensive, not the ultra rare, but like just the or I guess this one's ultra rare too, but like the cutesy Flareon EX where he's kind of like using the frame of the card to like I don't know, that's a good looking art to me. The Pikachu is awesome. The Sylveon with him and Eevee, that one's cute.
It's a very
Yeah.
cute set, but it doesn't have
Yeah.
like a lot of badass Pokemon. So it's a very cutesy kind of like kawaii base, you know.
I think a lot of this stuff was in Pokekayun
Yes,
in
absolutely.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which
Okay.
they kind of made for girls, like the cute.
Yes, with the hearts and like the ribbons and the pink and Sylveon being a big, the evolutions and stuff. The Pikachu really cute.
I don't know how you say Eviltal, whatever, like that one in the Radiant collection. That art's sick. I like that one a lot. But all right, yeah, we'll give it a
I
C.
like the Apollo patterns being really unique to each card on the Radiant collection. That was one nice thing about Generations that it had, but not enough that I think it deserves to be in that B tier, to be honest. It certainly isn't as good as those other B tiers that we have on there. Okay, Dragon Majesty. I love dragon sets. I absolutely love them. And this was a stinker of a set. So I think this one deserves to be a C or even D tier. I might even say D tier because looking back on it, it doesn't have anything. It really does. It has a Mew in it, I think, that's kind of like a chase worthy, but yeah,
does it have like a subset to it? Because the most expensive card is Ultra Necrozma.
There's no subset. So
okay,
yeah,
this is a D tier, 100%. This is boof.
And it was a short print too, and there wasn't a lot of. You got it in like ultra premium collection, or you got it in like a couple, boxes, but not a good set, not whatsoever. Nobody liked it back then. Nobody likes it now. I don't think it's gonna age well. Yeah, Dragon Majesty, it's a tough one.
Yeah, we're giving D the Dragon. All right, Hidden Fates. Josh might lose his mind on this one. I give Hidden Fates an A. Like hidden, I mean, you got shiny Scizor, you got shiny Umbreon and Espeon in it. I hate that Charizard art. It's not for me, but like it's super iconic for the hobby in general. Everybody wanted this during the boom. Like as soon as this hit stock, people were just foaming at the mouth to get people are paying $150 during the boom to get this back, when MSRP was like $49.99 or whatever it was. The stained glass bird promo, very unique art style, sick card. really cool, like probably one of the best ETB promos of all time. I'm giving Hidden Fates an A. And like it started the whole, I mean, I guess you could argue Shining Legends maybe started the shiny, but like the specialty set, like I think Hidden Fates really sort of started that trend. I'm giving Hidden Fates an A. I'm surprised it stayed stagnant for so long.
It won't. It's
Yeah,
gonna.
and in Japanese, some of those cards are really expensive, especially like the Umbreon and the Espeon. Like they're pretty expensive. So yeah, I'm giving Hidden Fates an A. I like it. I'm a big fan.
So the problem with giving Hidden Fates an A is that it's the single best set that was ever made in Pokemon. So that would be, yeah. So I think that it deserves an S because Hidden Fates, literally, if it wasn't for Hidden Fates, for me, I wouldn't be in the hobby. And I think that's the same could be said for a lot of other people because Pokemon Go didn't get me in the hobby. And that's
it's got Rayquaza. I forgot about the Rayquaza. It's got Rayquaza.
Yeah.
And then this Giovanni's Exile. That card's a banger. Then it's got the Jesse and James. Yeah, okay. Now that I'm looking at it, there's a lot of stuff I forgot about.
The main set has really, like, if the Shiny Vault didn't exist, Hidden Fates would be a B or a C tier specialty set. If there was no Shiny Vault in Hidden Fates, it would be stacking up to what the B tier sets or the C tier sets have, probably.
Yeah, it's good. I totally forgot about a lot of these. Yeah, see.
So you add that in, and you add in the global phenomenon that was Hidden Fates and what it did for the hobby and what it just did for specialty, for elite trainer boxes. Hidden Fates is the reason people collect, elite trainer boxes like they do. So I can't disrespect Hidden Fates by giving it an A when it's on the same tier as Crown Zenith. No, I think Hidden Fates.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and now that I'm looking at the Shiny Vault, like, I mean, you got Mewtwo in there too. You got a couple of waifus. Yeah, Sylveon, Greninja, Gardevoir, Lucario. The Darkrai is kind of cool. The Ho-Oh's good. Yeah, the Eevee. Yeah, it's a goodie.
The baby shinies are good. The full art shinies are good. The pull rates are like not too bad, but not too good either. So it has a little bit of both. The way it was released, and it's just the set can do no wrong. So looking at the list though, what do you think about it? How do you feel about our little list going? We've got here.
I think it's good. And what's funny is it's like, even the stuff that's on D tier, like if Pokemon stays strong, that sealed product is, and even maybe some of the singles will probably appreciate over time. Like it's kind of crazy. Even the worst of it, given enough time, enough of the product gets open. Some YouTuber comes back and is like, I actually really like this card from Double Crisis or whatever. Like, and Detective Pikachu 2 comes out. Maybe people go back and want to collect the Detective Pikachu cards. I don't know. But it's interesting to look at that. I mean, I think we were pretty fair. Again, like, let us know in the comments what you guys think. But I think we were pretty fair. And I don't think that we just kind of like went along with the herd. I mean, a lot of this stuff, the herd would probably agree with, I would imagine, like Crown Zenith and 151. But overall, I think we did pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, it pains me to see Celebrations so far down the list as it is. It looks like there's a nice glaring A spot right there. It looks like it'd be perfect for that little celebration symbol. And I do think there's going to be some people who are mad at us for putting Generations as far down as we did, but I think that we were fair in our assessment of them. And I will agree with you that maybe I'm a little too high on Celebrations, and so that's why I'm buckling on it. But man, that set's got that's a set, man.
It's also tough too, because it's like, if prices on this stuff were different, maybe that would affect our, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Look at Crown Zenith. I don't think prices necessarily affected us that much, because look at Crown Zenith and look at the prices. Like,
That's fair.
And then I also look at like probably Generations. Those prices are really high for what they are, and then like I
actually think the Generation sealed product looks pretty cool.
Yes, it does. It looks really good. Like the sealed product they were really good about the sealed product of that, I thought.
That's the other thing that maybe Hidden Fates deserves an S on, is like a lot of the sealed product in Hidden Fates is filthy. Like the Rayquaza premium collection with the Rayquaza figure in it, and the ETB with the 3 colored birds on it. Like
the 10s,
yeah,
there were Charizard, Gyarados, and Raichu. They were great Pokemon in the 10s.
Bro, people were destroying Target and Walmart to get those tins during the boom. Everybody wanted those tins. Everybody, and like some people were trying to invest and flip, but a lot of people just were trying to get those tins so they could open Hidden Fates packs, because like during the boom, it was very limited on what was available to open, and so like if you could get Hidden Fates packs, people were hyped to be able to open that stuff.
So thoughts looking at these, overall thoughts about what makes a very strong set, because I think this does say something about specialty sets. If there's probably some data to be drawn from it, but just overall thoughts, I guess, before we move on to the last section here.
Well, when I look at like the glaring, the stuff in the D, it's like Double Crisis. Again, I like Gen 3, but there's literally only 2 chase cards, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like when you look at Crown Zenith, there's so many good looking cards, and kind of to what you said about value, like value doesn't even matter. Like I pulled that Zamazenta card. I don't care about Zamazenta, but the art's fire. Like the art is really, really good. And if you're like a kid or a collector, you're not really concerned about value, you're not trying to flip or whatever, you just want to open some packs and get some really good looking cards out of it, you can't do much better than Crown Zenith. Same thing with Hidden Fates. I mean, it's just packed. Even the cheap stuff, the baby shinies, there's good baby shinies. And if you do hit a full art, I mean, there's probably like 10 or 15 full arts that you're just stoked to hit. So that's the most glaring thing to me. It's not even really like, what's the best investment or whatever. It's just like there's so many options of good arts, of good, enjoyable cards that you can pull out of the set. That would be my take. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that a variety is what I'm seeing is needed, with the only exception being 151. Like the 151, there's zero variety in that at all. I mean, there's variety in the original 151 in that you have all of them there, that you don't have to pick and choose. But like the other 3 that are there at the top, looking at like Call of Legends, Hidden Fates, Crown Zenith, they have massive variety. And that's what I think I see is like this, that is also the, like you said, the opposite. The ones on the weak side, the lower tier, they all are lacking variety. Basically, they're all really easy sets. Like the only set that's ranked really highly that doesn't have any variety is Celebrations. So
yeah, the last thing I'll say about 151 too is they did the evolution lines as full arts, and they made them like work together art wise. And I think that that's like huge, like especially the Charmander, Charmeleon, and how they're like, it goes from the bottom of the canyon to the middle to the flying. Like that's just smart. Like that's well executed. You know what I mean? Like I think that they did really, really good job on that, and making those god packs to where you can pull a god pack of the evolution line. I think that that's sick. I think that that's a really good idea, and it ties back into people's nostalgia. And I think for people getting back into the hobby because 151 came out and they heard about it and they got excited, and they're Kanto fans, to be able to have that sort of chase to where you can complete, and it works perfect for the binder too, right? Like you got your 9 slot page binder, and you can do Charmander, like the whole, like that. I don't know, like very, very well executed on that part for sure. So
best set ever made, potentially, besides Hidden Fates. It's definitely up there. There's an argument to be made for it.
Yeah, they dropped some. Yeah, dude, they killed. People were complaining and stuff, and as soon as 151 started getting announced, like all that talk just like immediately ceased. It was over with. And then when it landed, it didn't disappoint. Like no one was like, everybody was hyped on it, and then when it dropped, no one was like 151 actually sucks. Like no one said that. No one said that. So
they say it's hard to hit. The packs are a little bit more challenging to actually get hits from, but other than that, there's nothing bad to be said.
Yeah, 100%, and print quality too. But other than that, we're good.
Nice. Well, I thought that was a fun segment. I thought that was a proper way for us to kind of finish off, the year. Well, other than with our invest, flip, or skip, the holiday special one, which this is going to be a really good one. But Yeah, that's fun. Hopefully you guys like that too. If you want to see more things like that, where we do more tier charts or things like that, we're not going to do it in every podcast. Obviously, that's not our usual go-to, but just a fun, something different, right? That's what we thought we'd do. So hopefully you guys liked it too. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, you wanna take this first? Invest, flip, or skip holiday edition: Thanksgiving, Christmas, or Halloween?
All right, so this is a fun one. This kind of shout out to those in the comments. I think Dan was the first one to say something and suggest this as a topic. This has been long as a plan for us to be as the holiday one, but
I have the receipts.
Yeah.
I have the receipts. Josh came up with this a while ago.
But well done for guessing it. I love it, Dan. Shout out to you. You are a good man. You're a smart, well, good robot, whatever it is. You broke into the algorithm. But this is going to be a fun one I thought to do around the holidays because everyone loves the three different, holidays, seasons that we have. We have Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Halloween. And I think I'm going to be one of the only people who's going to make an argument for one of these holidays. And so it would be kind of cool to hear what you guys down below think and your thoughts and invest, flip, or skip for our Thanksgiving, Christmas, or Halloween. I want to know what your particular three would be. But here's what mine are. First and foremost, Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday of all time. It's not a very popular holiday. It always gets forgotten about. People like to move right on to Christmas right after Thanksgiving and forget that it ever happened. But to me, Thanksgiving has basically all of the good parts of Christmas, which is like the food, the warmth of like being at home and around the people you love, and like the plentiful nature of the holidays, but it doesn't come with all that baggage that's associated with Christmas, like the capitalism that comes along with it, where it's like you have to spend a bunch of money. It's all about gift giving, and like you go broke around Christmas every year. A lot of people do. I mean, not saying that you should or anything, but it's you feel a lot of pressure to buy a lot of Christmas gifts, especially if you have a lot of people in your life. So I always liked Thanksgiving because it never came with all that. And so for me, I personally I'm gonna say invest in Thanksgiving because it is the single best holiday that it just has everything. And even if you don't have someone to celebrate it with, you could celebrate it by yourself and enjoy that food and just still find things to be thankful about. And that goes for any holiday. But Thanksgiving's invest. That one's easy peasy. Thanksgiving, best holiday. I think it doesn't get enough love, and so I'm going to give it some love there. The other two are going to be
Really quick. So you said invest for Thanksgiving?
yes. I want
Okay.
it every year for the long term.
Okay.
I am going to be celebrating that. I'm not ever giving that up. Like that's in my long hold. You know what I mean? Now, flip and skip for Christmas and Halloween might be a little bit surprising to some people, but I personally have never been much of a Christmas person. But I've also never been much of a Halloween person. To be honest, I'm not really much of like I'm not a festive type of person very much. I hardly even celebrate my own birthday for, the most part. So I guess if I had to choose between these two, one to choose once to celebrate only one time, and then the other one to celebrate like not at all, to skip it, I would probably say I would have more fun celebrating Halloween just to celebrate once, just the one and done, just to flip it, as it were. So flip is Halloween for me. I want to interact with it. I do, but I don't want to do it every year. I'm just happy interacting once or a short period of time and then being done. Christmas, I could care less. I could be done with if we could skip Christmas. In fact, like it never happened and people weren't disappointed and people didn't have that in their head that like they're missing out on the holiday season. If we could skip something and lose all that baggage, Christmas to me, I would have so much more money at the end of the year. Everything would be better. So yeah, skipping Christmas. Sorry.
I'm
Sorry, not
getting
sorry.
the Jim Carrey, the Grinch, when it does the flashback when he's like the baby Grinch, and he's like stupid Christmas, like when the kids all bully him, and then he like goes up to the mountain or whatever. Like, oh man, if we could insert that clip or whatever, that would be
That's me.
classic.
That's essentially me at Christmas. So yeah,
Oh
even though
my
I feel
god,
better around the holidays, I could skip it. I could do without it.
that is a hot take. That is a hot take for me. Oh man, I'm skipping Halloween, bro. Like I don't. I mean, I'm not like I don't really like scary movies and stuff like that. Like I do like the Paranormal Activities. I kind of like those. Those are unique. But like I'm not into like gory slasher kind of like that. And like I never celebrate it. I don't eat candy. I'm not like a candy guy, so I'm that doesn't really do it for me. And yeah, I'm kind of a Scrooge for Christmas or for Halloween. Like I don't get dressed up. I never really even did when I was a kid. When I was like really young and stuff, I wanted to be like like Batman and stuff like that when I was like
Dude, I
really
dressed up
young.
as
But
all kinds of superheroes when I was younger. I had a
yeah,
Wolverine costume with the claws and the fake abs and everything. It was fantastic.
yeah, like that was cool. But yeah, I can do without Halloween for sure. I'm giving that one a skip. Um, I think if I was going to invest, like, I think I have to agree with you on Thanksgiving. I would want to invest. And it's kind of funny, too, because there's like a joke sort of in the crypto community and kind of in the stock community or just stocks in general. Like, people always are like, oh, you get together with your family on Thanksgiving and you tell your aunt to buy Bitcoin and stuff like that. So it kind of like sticks with that investing theme. But I like Thanksgiving. I like the food a lot. And I like reflecting. I like sort of like thinking about what I want to do, like how I want to close out Q4, and then start thinking about like what I want to do for the beginning of the new year and Thanksgiving, and then you got your football too, so that's nice. So that's why I would invest in Thanksgiving, because it sort of like slows you down and it gives you like what you need. It's like, okay, the year's not over yet, but we're right there almost. Let me get this little family holiday going, get some good food, get like the quick little weekend. Then you got your Black Friday. Maybe you can catch a good deal on something or whatever. And then you're sort of re-energized to power through the last month of the year. It's crazy to me how many people on like the 10th of December are like, oh, I'm done working. Like I'm done. It's Christmas is this month. Like I'm done working. It's like, bro, like I'm not about like, I'm going to probably be working on Christmas Day, waking up like shipping orders or whatever. But, yeah, and so like Christmas, I would flip. I like it, but it's more stressful to me. Like there's a lot going on. You got Christmas Eve, you got Christmas Day, you gotta like see all the family, get presents for people. I'm a terrible gift giver. Like I'm horrible at that. I'm not like I never know really like what people want. I always want to like get them something that they'll use. I don't want to just like buy them some random shit. Like that's not like my skill. I'm not the best gift giver in the world. So Christmas, I'll be flipping. I enjoy it, but it goes by pretty quickly now that I'm older. And then it's kind of like, oh, New Year's is here. We'll get together, have a little dinner for New Year's, and then it's like, all right, time to like grind for until summer basically. So yeah, that's why I would be flipping Christmas. So kind of close, but I'd skip Halloween instead because it's not for me. So that's where I'm
Yeah,
at.
I feel like I'm with you on the Halloween like scary movie thoughts, but like there's just something around the Halloween time that I just like more than Christmas time for some reason. Like it's not that I like being scared as much as I think it's that fall vibe that I like more than the winter vibe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's cold in Washington right now. I'll tell you that much. Like it's not snowing, but it's pretty damn cold. It's pretty damn cold over here. So
We're getting rain. We're getting a lot of rain here in Napa. That's what we're getting, but
bro,
we don't get snow in California.
I remember when I lived in California for a couple of years, and my buddy had the studio in West Hollywood, and I would go hang out with him or record or whatever. And like anytime, it was very seldom that it would rain, but it would rain. Like it would sprinkle, like the tiniest sprinkle, and like everyone had an umbrella, and they were just like, "Oh my god!" And like everybody all of a sudden forgot how to drive and stuff. And I'm just like, "Yo, y'all are wilding, bro! Like you could not survive in Washington." And like I had lived in Washington my whole life, so I was like, "This ain't nothing." Every like a little like ding ding sprinkle, and people are like full umbrella, like parka gear on, and I'm like, dude, y'all are insane with this. This is crazy. You guys are divas out here. But yeah, that was just funny to me about Californians and rain. Like they just can't hang. They can't hang.
It's true. We can't. I will admit to that. I'll be the first to admit that the first rain, like you don't want to drive in the first rain because there's so many more accidents. People forget.
Slick road, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got to be extra careful because all the oils come to the top. But yeah, absolutely. But yeah, if you guys made it this long, 2.5 hours into the podcast, I think that's about it. Yeah, like and subscribe, but we appreciate you guys, and definitely go and follow Retrospects because we're going to be doing the holiday giveaway. We're going to be giving away a little mystery something for you guys on the next live on his channel. So follow and subscribe, and then when we do our next podcast on the channel, we'll do the giveaway. So it'll be a fun time. But thank you all for the support. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. We're probably not going to see you until after the New Year. I will be doing a holiday stream on the 22nd, a little call-in show. So you'll get to see me again this holiday season, and hopefully Nick as well. But until then, I think I could probably speak for the both of us and saying thank you all for your support. It means the world to us. We're going to keep on making these podcasts. We're going to keep making them better, and we have a lot of good stuff planned for the new year. So more good to come.
All right. Yeah. Happy holidays, everybody. Leave comments below. What do they just have to, they have to subscribe to my channel to be entered for the giveaway. What are we doing?
Yeah, so in order to win the giveaway, you have to be subscribed to Retrospects, or subscribe to this channel as well. There's no way I can really check if you're subscribed to this channel and his, but you can check to see if you're subscribed to his. And in the live, we're going for the next video is when we're going to do the giveaway. So you'll want to be subscribed and try to tune in for that live, and just drop a comment below. Put your favorite, whatever, your Haribo, just drop a comment, and we appreciate you. So thanks again, everyone. And we'll see you.
Happy holidays, folks.